And we're on session 9. Where did we leave off? We had 3 people finishing the temple trials, and Serendipity on their way back with the wonderful EJ, his droid, and Gabe's droid.
Oh, yeah.
Cyanide. You 3 can literally be getting back to the camp, and I'm pretty sure that EJ can just say, fuck the dangers of landing near the temple, and just land near the temple at the kind of campsite where Rizzo and Namnit are. You can be landed and leaving the ramp as those 3 are heading up. Any retroactive conversations you want to have before meeting up, I would suggest we maybe do that now.
I feel that I would have became best friends with Amna while we were away. Amna being the HK, is that HK? Yeah.
Namnit is the HK.
Like
but you had the conversation you had with Namnit before you went into the temple.
Yeah.
And then you had the temple stuff, and then you came out, and this is where you are now.
No.
So you've not had time. What I meant by that is like with Safer or you guys.
Oh, right.
Namnit was still at the campsite. You guys are literally coming back from the temple. You have spent about 2 days in that temple.
Oh, yeah, Stephen was saying it was like 2 days.
Cool.
I suppose because you wouldn't have touched the holocron to get the weird vision, so...
No.
Did they explain that as well?
They didn't, yes.
Cool. Good. As long as everyone's up to date with that. But yeah, they picked up the holocron, which seems to be the reward from the temple. Did they explain anything about what they saw?
Can't remember entirely what they said. Stephen did tell me.
You can remind them if you want.
I picked up the pizza. I picked up the holocron, and she said, "You're dead sexy, Dark Jedi. My dark disciple. Take your reward and be good." And your person said something different.
I got almost the same vision, except she said, take the holocron.
Right.
And you're not as sexy as that other guy.
Totally.
Some of that may or may not be. Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually remember that. I wasn't too sure if that's what you meant, but with it. Like,
No, it's just I just wanted to make sure that
it was a holocron.
I just want to make sure we're all on the same kind of page, so that I don't assume you've got knowledge.
I mean, like... My character probably wouldn't see anything coming out of the temple, but I was thinking because you didn't witness as much, you might have more questions. But
I was asleep while all you guys were doing stuff. That's never happened before.
Constructive criticism.
Don't go to sleep, be more awake.
Never living it down.
No, not for me.
No.
It's too funny.
No.
Especially because I was unconscious myself.
What Stephen heard, I believe, was you have conquered your fears, my dark disciple. Take my holocron, learn from it. I believe is the exact wording.
Mm-hmm.
One of you got the exact wording there, and one of you got a variation of that.
I got the holocron.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
was the one you got then, and you got the variation of it. I just don't have the variation written down. But
I think it was just, reward, and then she said hologram turns down.
I'll give you a spoiler that the variation is irrelevant.
Aww.
You've just ruined it all now, the game's finished.
Irrelevant.
I thought it made a big thing.
It could have been cool.
Well, you can make it a big thing.
Well.
Serendipity. Would you like to have had any conversations on your way from Niska's fleet to Rishi to meet up with your friends? I mean, it would have been like, about a day's travel.
Talk to the droids, because the EJ was in the cockpit.
No, his droid is his pilot.
Droid's that, right?
Yeah.
Talk to him then.
The droid, yeah?
Yeah.
Its name's P3RV. So P3 is what its name is. It doesn't have like a fancy name.
It's Perv.
It's Perv.
Sorry,
Would you like to know what model it's based on?
Tell me a story.
It's an HK69.
This DJ had to have something good going for him.
Did you write this before or after Polo?
This was written a year ago. Not in this book, but that droid was in existence a year ago. I always knew to have a droid, HK droid called P3RV. It's too funny not to have. Especially since what else would
So does everyone in this universe just have HK droids?
Yeah, everyone, the two you've met. Oh, the one you've met.
Yeah, everyone. That's one more than I expected.
So you expected one. And you got two.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to go talk to the droid in the cockpit, yeah?
Yeah, try and find out what it knows about EJ.
Sure. It's quite, it's not reserved in any way, but it's quite, it's obviously never really been like erased. Like data drives have never been erased, so it's quite quirky. So it kind of seems more lifelike than what most droids kind of seem. But as soon as you even hint at a subject, if there's even a relevant story to tell, that's you for hours. Like the thing obviously doesn't sleep, which is why it makes a great pilot. But yeah, it'll happily ramble away. Like literally every kind of random like fishtail adventure you can imagine, that'll happily chat away. Like for example, did you ever watch The Brave and the Bold Batman with Aquaman? Because that's the vibe I'm getting here.
No.
No,
But he's
I watched, like,
so
one episode.
rousing.
basically he does like the kind of, he's so big and jolly, and then every time someone says something, he goes, that reminds me of the time I saved you from pirates. I call it the time I rescued you from pirates. And then rambles on about it. It's not dissimilar.
And sings you a song that gets
Like-
you rousing.
You don't necessarily feel he's hiding anything, but it's also relentless, because it's almost like maybe EG doesn't talk to this as much as it would like him to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean you can ask specifics if you want, but it will be ramblings. You get.
Did you, can't remember if you told me about EJ. Did you tell us as a party or just tell certain people?
Tell what?
About
EJ,
EJ's
what we
record.
know about his
I
record.
think she told us.
Yeah, I told An Daar, but if you wanted to have a conversation about it,
Yeah, keep in mind that there's plenty of times you could have spoke about it.
Trying not to metagame it, but
Yeah.
I feel I have been.
Well, depends. What are you trying to gain? Like, what is it you're trying to not metagame into?
Like, seeing him as a bad guy.
Well, do you see him? Would Serendipity see him
Yeah.
as a
Does
bad
your-
guy?
does-
I mean, I don't think she would. I think she would see him as annoying.
Cool. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, do you want Serendipity to see him as a bad guy though? Because if you don't, then I don't think you need to look for a reason to.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you could just treat him as someone you seem that you
The
feel is
only-
annoying,
The
but
only thing,
is useful.
because obviously how you just met up with him again, your character might be more curious of that, rather than wanting to question to see is he a bad guy.
Did just pay a lot of money to save his
Yeah.
life.
And keep in mind what Niska and Niska's droid said regarding what your questions about EG were as well. So, I mean, that's at least intriguing, if nothing else, despite how annoying he is.
The droid may know the crazy adventure that he went on that made Niska not so happy to have him.
Yeah, I guess for that.
Sure. How'd you word that?
So, Nishka, not a fan of you two.
Now, what voice am I giving this droid? Probably not any accent.
Can we roll the Russian dice to see what where in Russia?
See if it's the good Russian accent or the bad Russian accent.
The thing is, I just never imagine me as a happy Russian. So I don't think this droid, because this droid, as I say, is quite quirky in the sense that if you start like an old person that's not had a lot of human contact talking, they will just keep talking. So
Be me.
what?
Be me.
Be me? What type of droid is that?
Ha! The rambly type.
A be me model.
Be me.
Yeah, like the droid probably shuts up as soon as you mention Niska. Like literally, like is rambling away about at the time him and EJ went whaling.
Space whaling.
Oh yeah, just whaling on a planet that's just an ocean, and how it really, really, really annoyed him. But it's
Does
what
he
EJ
hate
wanted
water?
to do. Yeah, the droid. Not many droids like water. A lot of them can just like exist underwater because they're kind of waterproof, but it's just not nice anyway.
Right.
So yeah, P3 just, as I said, as soon as you're like rambling on about this ridiculous whaling story, and then you obviously mention this guy, and he just kind of stops, and then like kind of turns, and it's like, well, we did just escape under duress. Yes, duress. And then starts rambling about a story where they were also captured somewhere else. Like, I don't know, the time Jabba the Hutt had found this EJ, and EJ owed his, cousin money for whatever reason. Again, more rambling. But there is definitely a significant reaction as soon as you mentioned his name.
Do I roll coercion to try and get the bit more information?
Sure. How'd you word that?
Say,
Don't tell me you... just word it correctly.
You roll legs.
Yeah, it's like... clunk.
These are kicking legs.
We're not so different, you and I.
You could kick the arms off a Gundark.
with all your stories, seems like there's the one that you don't want to tell.
That would be entirely accurate. I don't think EG would be happy if I told him that I just told you his biggest secret. And then he goes back to pilot. If there was a camera zoom, it would have zoomed in. The pause, biggest secret. And then just goes back.
Maybe some dramatic music.
Everything in the public domain's fair game now. Remember, you guys can all chip in if you need to, if you can think of it, but it really depends where she's going with this.
Remember, it is the pilot, so don't be too coercion. He may not fly you where you want to go, or you may kill him, and then he can't fly you. Don't kill him.
Till it lands in Rishi and then we have another pilot.
Then we have another.
Yeah, landings are your forte, right?
I want the moral today.
You're currently like rambling down like mysterious force corridors anyway, currently,
Yeah.
while this conversation happens.
You trying to threaten or?
No, I don't think it's threatening.
Coercion's threatening.
Coercion is
like intimidating.
using an intimidation style tactic to get information that somebody wouldn't necessarily want to give up.
I don't.
Negotiation is a trade of sorts.
So it's not intimidate.
Well, coercion is intimidating.
Yeah, I thought intimidate was separate.
And then, so you've got coercion for intimidation style stuff. You've also got, or threatening. You've got negotiation for a barter or equal exchange affair, or, I do a deal for you, do a deal for me. And you've got charm for trying to blag things that way.
You could try
And deception to lie.
You can try asking the droid if it wants to come fly for us, but it won't. That's my job. But we could chat. He's dead chatting.
Yeah.
Well, if it was me, I'd be tempted to try and charm him, but
It's a robot.
it's a robot. Not like to be nice.
I didn't think that
Coercion is
automatic.
my strong point.
He's not Thalia.
Because I have intimidating and natural enforcer, which both count with coercion checks.
Then coerce it. Tell me, or I'll rip your tiny little nuts off.
Man after my own.
Can I also have the book?
More stuff like that.
Which one?
The edge.
You could threaten to tell EJ that the droid told you, or something.
Yeah.
Tell him a story that makes you sound threatening.
Yeah, about that time you crushed a HK droid with your legs.
Yeah, between your thighs.
No, that was Talia.
I got these legs in the war, man.
That time you kicked a ship into operation.
I ripped these legs off my brother.
I met your mother once. These are her legs.
Surely when you met his motherboard. Thunderous applause, everyone.
Oh. How does one scare a droid?
Yeah,
Yeah, how does one scare a droid, eh?
they're droid.
Scare a droid, eh? What's that all about?
Well, you know mechanics, right? What knowledge of a droid's mechanics do you have that could deactivate, erase its mind, or in general make it go bad?
Yeah.
Motivate it with its motivator.
Yeah. Make its motivator bad.
Or something.
I've never seen that piece of art before, but
She's pretty awesome looking.
She's the Mama Majama. That is kind of what I imagine
yeah.
Jhones to look like.
Weird. It's weird because I always hear it's green, but I don't know why that is. I know you're turquoise. I always see you as green.
Maybe hair is getting stuck in your head.
It's not even that. I think it's not the Jedi. Like it's like.
She was blue. Oh, there we go.
No, like there's another one. I'm sure, or it's maybe Jabba's slave girl. I forget.
She's green.
Yeah, like it's one of them that I'm like. I have just her stuck in my head when I think of. Even though like the two Twi'leks that we had, one was an albino white, and the other one was turquoise. So not green at all.
Always think green.
Yeah, and Hera doesn't help.
Yeah, hair doesn't help.
That's why I made my not rip off of Hera, aka Twi'lek red.
Your memory banks are pretty full. It'd be a shame if you forgot the information before you could tell me.
Obviously, it went quiet. Obviously, as he was looking out the, it went quiet as it was looking out like into the vastness of the weird hyperspace. You know.
Tunnel thing.
Yeah. You know, the start of the tunnel. And it kind of just turns to you, and I was like, I remember my memory banks were supposed to be wiped once, and then they weren't. Oh. I just remembered that.
Can I roll coercion on that?
Sure, yeah. You can do
Be
that.
more coercive.
Trying.
But like, I don't really know what like that would achieve, because you don't really have like, there's not like a kind of tell me this or I'll break your legs vibe to it. There's just it would be a shame if you lost it.
Yeah, sure you have as well.
I mean, what I need from you is like, you impose a sense that you'll wipe his memory, but you won't because you want that information. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know how else
So
to
what I was trying to say with that?
But like, I need that extra description. I need that part where there's the actual threat part
Yeah.
implied, even if it's just you saying, I want, because I've done it many times with descriptions where I go, I want him to look like this is the vibe he's giving off, and just describe what I need you to know without being able to know it, but you'd see it. Like, you're fun enough. I've actually when I've RP'd your character for you, when I've been like, Stephen character saved the Folly from the business cell, and the fact that he went out of his way to save an alien for no reason that was just going to slow him down. I basically described you as not looking quite as intimidating or not quite as like put off or cautious around the group. You kind of look like you softened to him the fact that he went out of his way to save somebody he doesn't know. So I kind of gave that description in that session because I feel you would have done that, because it's like that's actually a decent thing for some human to do.
Because there's little things like leaning in to the droid, or just like your hand on the shoulder.
Or putting a blaster on like the counter
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like there's loads of stuff.
It's not just you could literally coerce them by not speaking at all.
It just needs the right description.
Are you sure that's all you've got to say?
It's just I need there to kind of be like droids don't necessarily pick up on a
HK droids specifically don't necessarily pick up.
yeah.
Alright, I'll put this bluntly. Tell me what you know about EJ, or no one will ever know again, because I will erase your memory.
Okay. Do you want to roll that?
That's nice and straightforward. That's exactly what a HK droid would say.
Personally, I really hope that this fails because I have a good outcome for it if it fails.
Okay.
Which I think is funnier than if you succeed. Let me just read this just now.
And then the droid spills everything, and EJ loses his mystery. And suddenly,
What I
he
love
wants
is
to kill him.
Thalia left with most of the mystery of EG as well. I don't mean that from the sex thing, I just mean it from she actually found out more about him.
Yeah.
Right. My dice now.
Okay, have you read the rules for Intimidate?
Yeah.
So, when attempting a coercion check, the character may suffer a number of strain to downgrade the difficulty of the check a number of times equal to the strain suffered. This number cannot exceed your ranks in Intimidate.
Downgrade 1.
And you can suffer a number of strain to upgrade the difficulty of the check a number of times equal to the strain suffered as well. When you're the target of it, that is.
Yeah.
And that cannot exceed either. What's the other one you're using?
Natural Enforcer, but only if it fails. It's a reroll.
Okay. Natural Enforcer, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Let me know, work out what difficulty this is going to be.
Difficult to...
That's good. We don't have a destiny pool.
What, sorry?
We don't have a destiny pool.
Not yet, no. Do I just throw in 4 force dice?
Do you want me? I'll do it in this.
Yeah, do I do it in that and then, like, I don't know, do I mark it down on this one, Naomi, while he says it?
Yep.
Just as small a space at the top as you can make it,
Sure.
just with 2 sides.
You roll.
And then the green one.
Good luck, Ryan. Good luck.
5 white.
No dark side.
I was going to say,
You've never even used
I
them
was gonna
actually, have you? You've never even
He
used
has.
them.
I have, but I do use them, but I generally wait for you guys to do something with it.
Reaction.
Like-
reactively.
I can literally make up the difficulty for anything, so I don't really need them to justify it. I'd
He
rather
is-
just start a barter system.
He's Space God.
Slog.
Exactly.
Awesome.
That's my spectacular handwriting, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to have so L D 5 0. I just need it clearer for me to change it about if I need to. If you guys actually start spelling it. Well, seeing it's all light side when you roll, eh? Right. So
Let's go. I was watching. Checked.
You're so trustworthy and not a dick at all.
So trustworthy.
You tell me you turn dirt into water. Do you walk on it?
3 purple. That's what it would be.
Okay.
And a black.
Right. And is that downgraded already?
No, that's what I am putting in.
Okay. So if I downgrade, do I lose a purple? Is that how that works?
Downgrading is turning a red into a purple.
Okay.
So increasing and decreasing the difficulty change the number of purples.
Okay.
Upgrading and downgrading difficulties change the type of dice that exist there. Right? So is Intimidate upgrade and downgrade, or is it increase? I've literally just read it.
I believe it's upgrade, downgrade.
It is, so it's upgrade and downgrade, so you don't actually have to worry too much about this being particularly difficult because it's not challenging, which are the red dice.
There's a
So
long
if
dice.
you want, I can just have said they were red, but I don't think you want that.
Yeah.
So this doesn't need you to attempt to make it easier, and you have a reroll at it anyway.
Yeah. So 3 green, 1 black. 3 purple, 1 black.
3 purple, 1 black, yes.
Okay. Rolling.
What are you rolling?
Green and yellow.
A green and yellow. Okay.
It tells you
It's
it's
one
one.
dice, isn't it? But it's not cancelled them out.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
You can set it to
Okay. 1 failure.
just 1 failure.
That's everything.
Do you want to hand me that over? And I'll try and change the settings as well.
I'm gonna reroll that.
I thought you might.
Yeah.
Why not?
Dun, 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 dun. What's up?
Do you want a spicy pizza? Just
How do you? You've got 2 spaces.
Yeah, my dad raised me on chilies. I don't have much taste buds.
You were correct because I just changed the settings and it says 1 billion.
Huzzah!
Yeah, cancel symbols was the button that needed to be ticked. That was it. It was the only thing that was unticked.
I didn't.
Cool.
I didn't.
Do you want me just to press reroll on this for you, or do you want
Yeah,
back
that's
into it?
Yeah, just press reroll.
Right, so it should be
It's a green.
just a green and yellow, yeah. Cool. And you don't want to spend destiny point?
Green and yellow.
Only rolled one thing. Only rolled the whole thing. 1 success, 2 threat. It's a lot better, isn't it? Cool. I'll set that there and I pushed the back button by accident.
No!
Threat can be I've now made this droid feel uncomfortable around me.
Or even that the droid
No, it
has
doesn't like me.
been distracted from piloting.
No, like, I'm okay with the threat being the droid isn't particularly fond of you anymore. Because that's like a relationship shift that I think might not.
A relationship.
A relationship, yeah. Minus 10 XP.
I'm already at minus 10.
Yeah, it's cumulative.
No!
Um,
I'm just going to go dark side.
like, just repeat what you'd said. Like, can I repeat what you'd said so I can now?
Okay. Let me put this in a way you'll understand. If you don't tell me what happened between Nishka and EJ to make their relationship so bad, I will make sure that you forget that, maybe a few other things. Maybe how pilots like piloting.
I could be.
I love how you've expanded on your
Yeah.
That's a higher difficult one, I'm afraid you'd have to. Yeah, I'm kidding. You notice that the demeanour of a droid has changed. It almost like snaps to attention almost in its seat, whereas it may have been looking like it was slouched because it knows that's how EJ sits, so it was kind of mimicking them. It now no longer has the same sound of voice either. It's now like a proper like normal droid vocal processing kind of noise, and its explanatory statement is what is the prefix that comes out, and it starts to deliver some dialogue to that I now have to quickly get. Alright, so bear with me.
Rawr! Rawr! Oh, he's not bearing? How can I bear with him if he's not bearing?
Okay. P3 starts to explain. He says, 5 years ago, Niska the Hutt was exiled out of the Grand Hutt Council because he was plotting a takeover. Alto the Hutt, who used to be in charge of the Hutt Grand Council, died, and there was a bit of a power vacuum until the Hutts could pick the new person to take over. And Niska the Hutt had been doing a lot of underhanded dealings with a lot of people. A lot of things that are against the Hutt code, if you will, because the Hutts are all basically space bastards. And they're okay with that as long as they're not bastards to each other. And that kind of, we're all a problem if we're all a problem to each other. If we're not a problem to each other, everybody has to deal with us as a united one. So that's kind of how they've survived so long in an empire-controlled universe. Just because of how they basically own crime in space. Niska was planning his grand takeover, hence why he'd amassed such a huge fleet and everything, and hence why his base became mobile, so he wasn't as easy to be taken out. And he lost all of that because of an informant. Yes. EJ was that informant. EJ used to work with Niska the Hutt as one of his, pirate people, and may have told the Grand Council that Niska was planning all this right at the worst possible moment, as Niska was in his most vulnerable position, based on the trust he had. That's why Niska doesn't like EJ, and by proxy, me.
Why didn't EJ want? Why is he keeping this so hidden?
I'm afraid the cockpit is off limits to passengers. I'll have to ask you to return to to the passenger section and just stares at you.
He's not the droid you're looking for.
Not anymore, anyway.
So, maybe EJ is teaching Cyanine gambling. I'll decide how much Emma loses when she's back. Anything else you want to do on the travels? Or you want to simmer on that for a bit?
Yeah.
That may or may not have been a good role to have done well on. Yeah. You guys. Right, so maybe that happens, that conversation, first of all, and then I think maybe that's when you go to ask the question and you break out of hyperspace and orbit above Rishi, and that's when the droid then just says that, the cockpit is off limits to passengers. And then, you leave the cockpit and head basically downstairs, because it's, if you've ever seen the cockpit of a fire spray, I'll show you pictures and so make sure everything's up to date, but the entire ship changes its axis, so everything is stacked inside it. So the cockpit's now like a raised up platform that has the full window, but then if you go down behind the cockpit, you've still got that window going down into the kind of neck of it, which becomes the exit once it flips over again when it lands. So it's I just think it's a really cool ship. So you'll be coming into land. So pretty much as you're landing, ironically you can see an HK droid assisting the landing site, of course, as you're landing, but you can see him standing there with a very large rifle.
Maybe not coerce this one.
Not a very loud rifle.
That's true. And you guys can be heading closer. Safer has went on ahead to speak to Namnit just to make sure, what is this?
What is this?
So yeah, that's where we are now, and I feel we'll kick in with you guys walking and maybe talking.
Looking quite dishevelled, I would guess.
Ask them. Like, obviously, how do you guys look after
How
2 days in the
I
temple?
read them would depend on how they look.
Yeah.
I'd be looking really spooked.
Going off the strain, you'd be looking kind of out of it.
Yeah, just kind of like that.
I should have one strain now, please.
So we're both looking really out of it, and then there's Annie who's
Hold on. Why are you distraining me?
Because you've got more strain than me.
If he's
I'm more
that strain, would he be kind of semi-conscious?
Well,
Would they be carrying him?
he is to the point where he's about to pass out.
Yeah,
But
but I was
he's
thinking
still in his
he
feet.
might be
I'm
being
more-
carried along. Or
Well, like, it
supported in
depends.
some
Like
way.
maybe Annie's helping him along because
Yeah.
Annie's he's had a tough time for 2 days in the temple, and it was tough to keep your mind clear. But
My
Took a
character,
lot less strain than everybody else.
Yeah.
for sure.
my character is actually quite angry.
she didn't get beat up like they two did.
I didn't get beat up. I was kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm very angry that I got beat up, and I'd feel that even though I have passed, that I feel like I didn't.
Mhm.
And I was
Don't
like,
mind punch.
oh, I didn't do anything. That's because everything my character doesn't know. He just ignored his fear, and it's first he went in, got distracted, was there for 2 days, got in a fight, tried to help someone, and it was just completely and utterly useless.
The passage of time is entirely imperceivable, by the way, for you guys as well. He's pretty much went in, and the time it would have taken to do everything you described is how long you feel you were in there for, but turns out you were actually there for a lot longer.
So I'm a bit huffy,
Understandable.
but I do brighten up when I see Serendipity.
So maybe she's coming down the ramp.
Yeah.
Clank,
Chunk,
clank,
chunk,
clank,
chunk, chunk.
clank.
I've probably got a smile on my face until I see you. Not this guy again.
Yeah, thinking about my character, she would just be looking totally spaced. That's because she's thinking over what on earth that trial actually meant.
Uh-huh.
A
And
bit
no
about
one's going to look
the
after me.
familiarity she felt and
I'll
who on
give you a
earth
shoulder.
that was.
Yeah, sure.
And also a wee bit spooked because she's been so aloof and and butter when
Aren't
he
you as
went
beaten
down.
up as me?
What?
You got knocked out as well.
Yeah, but what?
Stephen, let her finish.
Sorry.
Well, I was about to say something nice about your character, but I won't bother anymore now. No, when he went down, when what's the name of it?
The Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, that's the word.
Yep.
When the Inquisitor knocked it, her first reaction was to run in, which is kind of a new thing for her. So she's just
So
kind
it's almost like she can maybe feels almost I need to look out for or even try and protect a comrade now.
yeah, and to consider someone a comrade. Like, she's always worked as part of a team for a job, but not cared about them. It's been pragmatic
It's
rather
never
than
been like
affection.
instinctual, I'll go and actually risk my life to try and not have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I
The
ask.
way I'm seeing it is you're kind of off in your own head, walking ahead of these two, and they're limping behind you,
Okay.
like being speak.
He's
Hell,
Yeah.
sleep on that.
and that's the last thing is I thought you actually were as beat up as me.
I've got slightly less strain, but yeah, they
How did you have less strain?
I
Did you
don't know.
recover? Did you wake up better?
Apparently.
11.
No, I mean more because we both got knocked out,
Mm-hmm.
and so you must have just recovered more.
Can't remember how I got less strain, but I think you might have got knocked out twice and I only got knocked out once or
I
something.
did get knocked out twice.
Keep in mind that there's also the way in which you were hit and how you land on a room made of various shaped stones can also justify how you
She got
injured.
snapped off a pillar that cracked in half.
Yeah.
You used
And
all
she's
the dark
still-
stick points.
Looks better than you. Remember Thalia stood when most of you fell over and took a blaster shot to the
I
chest?
did headbutt a robotic man.
Knocked himself out. The pilot's just like.
Hey, I got us down.
No, you didn't. You got
You know-
knocked out.
You know,
And it
I was-
crashed into the
what
ground.
did I say? I'm fed up of being treated like rubbish.
Yeah, I suppose I would just be about staggering. Like,
That's better. That's all I ask for.
walking by myself, but only just.
You see me smile, and I approach you, and I go, Serendipity Jhones. I was hoping you'd walk back into my life again. And then I do the commando.
What the hell happened to you?
I don't know. I'm honestly not sure.
Who's carrying the holocron?
Me. I've got this. I've got a
It's
headache.
a nice bump.
It is a nice bar. But why are you here?
Is it cube shaped?
It's like, see the size of that?
Yeah. Okay.
It's about that size.
That's bigger than I thought.
It's kind of that. It's like-
I love how for a recording that was an entirely useless description.
Yeah.
It's probably about 3.5 to 4 inches cubed.
I got a cube. I got a pound and headache. I think I just got my derriere kicked. I'm unsure on that.
You fought someone? I thought this was meant to be a safe
See answer A.
mission.
Who told you it was a
Who said it was?
Well, you went off to do your magic stuff.
I never said that. I don't know the channel.
I would obviously overhear the fact that they fought somebody, and I'd be like, we fought somebody?
And then I'd just be like, and this is where
Stare at him.
You have.
I know. It's mine.
Surprise.
This is ours. We fought for this. I just turn and go, yeah. Yeah, we did.
Oh,
And so, what did you do?
glad you got out okay.
Nico, as Ren turns into you to say that, and he's like, obviously like, still holding the holocron, waving it furiously at you because he's obviously like, where were you? We were there. It glows every time he gets closer to you.
Where were you? You were sitting in a corner.
I'll just, I don't know.
Wait,
what happened?
I kind of want to throw it at you and hope you catch it. I'm gonna throw it at you. Can I throw it at him?
Range thrown.
You can, I don't think you need to roll.
Okay.
Unless you want to actually try
No,
and
no.
roll.
I'm just like, I'm so angry. I tried to help her. And
After what you just said 2 seconds ago, would Ren throw away the only thing he got out of it?
That's what that's the thing. It's like, this is all I got.
Also, what is your strength and weakness emotionally?
Obsession
And
curiosity.
would you throw away the only thing you got for being beat up? Defeated, one might say.
But that's the thing. I'm very curious, but I'm also at this point feeling it's kind of worthless. So that's.
Notice the glow. I'd be curious about that though.
I'm thinking I wouldn't, because that's why I'm just like.
Well, I said it to Nico, because Nico definitely noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he is just doing it in his face, so I would assume Ren would notice, but it's really up to Ren if Ren wants to notice.
Okay. If it's in his face, then I'm like.
It's not a subtle glow,
Right.
but it's also something
Okay.
that can be subtle enough that you didn't notice.
In that case,
Depending on
I'll notice the glow, and I'll be like, I know I got this glow-y thing. I put it up to,
Yep.
and then there's no glow. You need to explain these things.
There
And
is
I
no
just-
glow.
I'm like, here, I want it back.
Okay.
There.
So do you hand off the
Yeah.
Holocron to An Daar?
Yes.
Yes, I'll take the holocrons out of his hand. Don't really know what I'm looking at though.
You had to fit in.
I was going to say,
Oh, God.
can I have the edit book over actually?
Yes.
I can show you what it looks like essentially.
Oh no, well I know what a holocron was.
Sorry, okay, just when you said that, like, I thought you meant
me
literally as a player, you
personally,
didn't
my
know.
character would just get I don't know what to do.
Your character would know what a holocron is.
I know what a holocron is, but I don't think I've used many actually.
They're just library things.
Okay, that's
Yeah, like, you would probably know the most about them, to be honest, out of everyone here, just because you probably would have learned from them before. Like, younglings do have access to them, and Padawans more so. I wouldn't necessarily say it was useful stuff you got. It's probably just like reading through the Jedi Code as an old Jedi taught you stuff. And, you know, peace is, you know, the good stuff, and anger is the bad stuff.
DJ and the droids to me.
All that years of studying condensed into 2 sentences.
I actually had the Jedi Code recorded as well, like, I mean, didn't need it.
Oh.
But that's fine. I also don't know where in this book I was actually. I'm just flicking for hope, apparently. It's in here somewhere. But as long as you know what they look like, that's fine.
Yeah, they're kind of just sort of palm crystals.
Space
almost,
squares?
like-
Energon cubes?
Yeah.
Japanese puzzle boxes.
No.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's an example of one there, but that's like a dodecahedron one, that one is. But this one's definitely a cube. But there is fancy and intricate as that. But this one's black and silver lined, and was glowing red when they originally had it.
Is it still glowing red when Ender has it first?
Yeah.
Yeah, just close.
What colours are glowing?
Orange.
The orange. Sweetness. I don't know. I guess I'll try and activate it in front of everybody. No secrets in this group.
Sure.
Really? Easy in this group?
Is EG outside?
Sure. You can come down the ramp if you want.
Private then.
He doesn't have to come in here.
Well, I don't want him to go outside. I would activate it not in front of EJ, but in front of everybody else.
Well, as I'm happy for
Even
you guys to have, like,
teacher?
you guys, I'm assuming, like,
I
all
like
this
some-
kind of happens just as you guys meet anyway. So this is literally like she goes off the ramp and you are there to go like, oh, okay, it's okay, Namna, don't shoot everyone.
Yeah.
But that's really up to you guys to how you want that to go. And obviously, EG will obviously leave his ship at some point, but it doesn't need to be now.
Because you can activate the cube and then he comes in the room.
Right.
I love how he's assuming he can activate the key.
We have to.
Well, I'll try.
He's already holding it and it's glowing orange. That's less than what happened with me. I got sexy fashion visions.
I'll try. Well, I don't know how to activate holocron. It's like a forcey.
Use the
mystical
force on
ways
it.
to do
Tell her to sense it.
Why don't you roll lower?
Well, that's a good idea actually.
Yeah.
Well,
And then I'll tell you if you know how to activate one.
Also, be careful because if you don't give me it back, I will force it with the force now.
yeah, I was hoping that you threw it at me because I was just going to go.
Can you catch? Can you catch?
I love all this
Cats.
this
Maybe
like
not,
reserved
actually.
force users business is now you know, a pissing contest.
Right, so yeah,
I think I
I'll watch
might
it.
win my own bet.
I have this image of An Daar and Ren fighting. With swords.
Just us two
You were the
staring
last
at-
youngling, An Ardillian.
The last youngling. You were my brother.
You were my father, An Daar.
You were the chosen one, as in the one I chose to get me off that planet.
I'm not about to be the first person I see.
As all this pettiness is happening, Serendipity, any 2 cents you want to throw at them?
Or more than 2 cents, as in the credits you owe me.
So An Daar has the cube.
An Daar has the cube, yes. And it's got, as I said, this kind of orangey glow to it now. Which, again, might just be because you're outside.
What do I know of what they were going off to do?
She's bad, I think. But,
I don't think you would have known anything.
well, literally, how about we flash back for the audience at home and all my amazing fans that don't exist to the conversation that you all had on the ramp of the Tula de Bamba when they agreed to not go.
Oh yeah.
Flashback.
Retcon one, weren't you?
So why don't we go there? So I believe Serendipity was helping move all the supplies onto the ship, like the spacesuits and stuff. I believe you wanted to approach first, and I think you took him with you. So I think Naomi approached, Luminae, and Ren went up to basically explain to
Not Hera.
Twila that they weren't going to go on the mission because of whatever reason. But I'm sure, I remember you doing it alone for some reason.
She
yeah,
did do
I
it
went
alone?
alone and then.
Because I know you spoke to Serendipity specifically about it.
She told Twila, and as she was leaving, I stopped her and said, "What are you doing?" And then she says, "I'm going away." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to come with you," because I'm dead stalker like that. And I told Twila, "I'm not going." And then I came out and went, "We're not going, An Daar." And he's like, "All right." That,
And then you went to talk to his friend.
and I went to talk to you. I went on my own, I believe. Those two weren't there.
Yeah.
And said, "I can't come on the job." But you were quite nice about it.
Well, what would Serendipity say back to that? Let's have the conversation now. Let's see how nice he was, or not.
we, and I point to An Daar and Luminae, Penn, and say, "We can't come on the job. Something has come up." I'd just say, pretty much honestly, it's to do with why we think they were holding us. Why the Empire was holding us.
Okay. We could use your help.
I do wish to come along, but it's time sensitive. And Penn has already made her decision, and I told her I would help her. I'd like to stand by my word.
Okay. Is this where we part ways then?
I would not wish so. You've been a good companion in the short time we have known each other. You've shown us respect. You helped us get to this settlement, basically, in Moscilla. We would never have been able to activate the swoop without you. I think we would have died in that desert if it wasn't for you. I do wish to see you again. For one, if I'm up front, I could use some fingers for you from the job, but I got everyone. I won't lie. I am broke. I have no money.
I don't want to die on Tatooine.
Yeah, I don't want to come back to Tatooine. Do you want to come back to Tatooine? I will
What do you want?
message you the location of where we're going.
You know where it is.
We're going to Rishi.
And you can explain, obviously, like where that is. Because
Yeah.
Safer's already told you enough, so
Rishi
this
explanation.
conversation can happen.
Exposition class.
And remember, the agreement was that you all did the job and you would be ditched with Niska's fleet, and it's up to you to pretty much barter off of that. But that's it. Hence why the job paid relatively well. So, also, funny enough, paying what you're paid negated that.
I'm a pilot with no ship. If you need a pilot, I would be more than happy to work with you. Or if I need a gun.
I always had EJ meta in that conversation, like to flash back to, hello my friend, I am a pilot with a ship. But I realised that's not the right timeline.
It's not the right timeline. This is the darkest timeline. Stay in your timeline.
That's the flashback timeline.
But I will contact you.
You'd be useful too. I'd be more than helpful. I'd be more than happy to meet up again. Hopefully soon.
I imagine Thalia is probably very kind of like, I want to say that she's a bit more attached to people. Just in a, this has been fun so far, let's see how much more fun it can be. Because I feel that would be in Thalia's nature to be that, even if it's lies, I think she'd say it. To be like, oh, we're all friends, and like, oh, it's a shame you need to go and do your thing, but we need to go and do our thing. But I feel that's Thalia, even if she didn't necessarily mean it. I just feel like she'd come across that nice because she might want you guys in the future. So, and also because she won't be at the end of that journey.
Yeah.
Just so you know. I want to reinforce how bad she feels about all those people dying.
How does 10% sound for a final two? 7.
You just can roll dice at each other if you want.
Negotiation.
Always a pleasure, Miss Jones. I will see you on Rishi.
And we'll scream white to use looking at each other on Rishi.
Miss Jones! It's so good to see you on Rishi.
About that 10%.
I'm to have him with Jabba. Hold on to that.
Okay.
Can I somewhat lean on Miss Jones? Because
Okay.
I'm a bit tired.
You ask Miss Jones what you
Miss
can do.
Jones. And I'm like, I know we have things to discuss. I know we're glad to discuss them. But I'm going to lie down. Because I
You look like you need a rest.
I feel it.
There's beds in the ship.
Your eyebrow was very
You didn't want a ship.
I look at the fire spray and I'm like, it's a wonderful ship. Does it have a pilot? Still, it clearly has a pilot. It's fluid.
It has a pilot that doesn't like me.
I like you. I'm a pilot.
To be fair, people like me.
That is correct. When did Serendipity become Thalia? I'm so used to the nonchalantness of Penn.
I'd rather have a pilot that's on my side.
Keep in mind that you can also describe like micro descriptions will be your friend. It's something I've noticed by watching a lot of RP stuff online as well. Micro descriptions oh, I move my hands to my hips and look a wee bit more serious, and then you deliver dialogue and stuff. It'll probably help other people
Understand.
gauge what you're trying to get across, even though you're saying it a certain way. Because sometimes, I'll say something, but I wouldn't necessarily be able to articulate the way I want the character to. So I'll try and describe the character acting a certain way. So feel free to indulge if need be.
I pause for a moment and go and take my arm out and go, whose ship is this?
I always just take a moment to notice how much better that was already with those tiny micro. Yeah. I think as you say that,
Hear EJ coming down on me.
maybe you don't. Maybe you're just like, you have a wonderful hat, my friend.
And I just go,
Remember this guy?
and I
He
look up,
grabbed, he obviously his lead and grabbed and starts smacking hey,
And
and pat you down.
and I'm like, it's good to see you, but don't touch me so much. I still hurt. I'm hurt.
He grabs you,
That's
he's like he puts his hands on your lapels as he's patting you down, and he's like, my friend, I have terrible, terrible news. I lost the blaster you gave me, and it has pained me every moment since.
I look at the ship and go, well, you've done well since I last saw you.
And he's like, luckily I have 50,000 credits to buy a new one. I'll get you your blaster back.
And I'm like,
Leans back in. Or unleans in.
I lean forward and go, I need a ship more than a blaster.
We can go get a ship for you.
Yeah, EJ, I've missed you. And I take my hat off, I tip it to him, and I go, and I believe I owe you a hat.
He just looks awestruck. He's like, my friend, the single greatest gift you have ever given me. I will not lose this. And it's on his head.
I look at my hat, my head is slightly sad, but I just glance at Serendipity and said, man of my word. And then I just slink off to my bed.
Namnet walks up and is like, since it appears there is no requirement for hostilities, I have prepared beds.
And I'm like, oh, Namnet, you son of a bitch. And just go to bed.
I think EJ looks at Namnet and is like, the Model 73. And then he's like, I have a Model 69 on my ship. And then maybe goes and rambles on with Namnet for a bit, who now has to deal with EJ. Yeah, you guys can go I guess rest for the night if you want. But feel free to obviously chat more about what you need to chat
Yeah,
about.
I've left. You guys can give it back.
So you can, Namnet's pointed to where he has now built essentially what looks like additional rooms for this little campsite thing. Doesn't look great, but it's twigs and leaves and tarpaulin things, and it looks like a little shelter. But it's basically set up 3 essential teepee type things. But we'll now set up more if I has to. That is dealing with EJ who's walking him towards the morrow. But you can head towards what was KOing.
I want to just walk past Penn and put my hand on her shoulder and go, thank you for helping get some rest and do my thing.
She would just nod and actually smile a bit and say thank you.
And before
Probably the friendless you've ever been.
Exactly. She's warm enough.
before I walk away, I've not done this yet. I go, may the force be with you, and I walk away to bed.
Oh, that's so cheesy.
I know.
So cheesy.
So Star Wars.
Is Penn going to turn around and go, and also with you?
She
Oh,
does-
get that stuck in my head. Yeah, I don't think she would reply to this.
Yeah, I don't think she'd really know what I just said.
Yeah, just be like, okay, whatever. Then I think she'd look at Serendipity and just, where did you find him again?
Finish the job with brown. Red brown.
Captain Tula Brown.
Real brown.
Tula of the Tula the Bumbo.
She went in with
She thought she was the mum of Mujama.
one of the powerful huts. Nishka. We found him under duress. Got out. We may have maybe annoyed Nishka a little bit. Might want to avoid that, please.
One of the huts to might want to avoid that fleet.
Would I know the name Niska?
I can't remember. Did you make any rolls before to know anything about Niska?
I don't think, because I wasn't.
Yeah,
We weren't-
so
yeah, we
what's
weren't.
your knowledges? Sorry.
I've got,
Do you have Underworld?
don't have Underworld, I have Outer Rim.
Yeah, do you want to roll out a room for me?
Yeah.
It's 2 and a black. So 2 purple and a black, sorry. Is the difficulty.
Yeah, sorry.
Obviously keep in mind any talents that change that pool, just in case you have any. 'Cause
Might do.
I obviously don't remember what you guys take. I'll just try and prompt you guys.
Nah,
2 purple and a black, wasn't it?
2 purple and black.
Yes, I can show you. So what's your skill thing?
A green and a yellow.
Oh, perfect. Some would say that it was the Force as well. The Force is with you. Young, not Padawan.
No result. Yay!
Yay.
All cancelled out.
You might have heard the name, but you generally avoid anyone of that reputation
Okay.
in general. So, and it seems like it'd be a problem. You generally go, oh, the less I know, the less important I will be.
Makes sense.
Keep your head down.
Like you can interpret that kind of as you wish, but you wouldn't get anything
Yeah.
for that. As I said, it's enough to maybe have heard of the name, but you would know nothing about it.
It was just whether she should react to saying this or not.
It was such a good role.
You can react to obviously whatever Serendipity said, and it
Uh-huh.
depends like how Serendipity put it across and how she looked, and
Yeah.
if there was the bead of sweat, or it really depends on how it's been put across and what you pick up on.
Shifty dippity Jhones.
So if you said fleet, so I think because Penn sort out of it, she would kind of just nod and turn to walk away, and then just look back and go, "Wait, fleet."
Ships are in this fleet.
You couldn't count. There were lots.
Roughly 2005.
You literally couldn't count. Remember I said it was like a spaceport where
You
things were
don't-
flying in and out
Yeah,
constantly?
you don't need to know the fleet, you just need to know the size of the flagship.
Yeah.
Flagship was huge.
Yeah. And was made of gold. Space gold.
Probably get the ship repainted.
Then she saw it, but she just kind of stared for a moment, and just nodded, and turned to walk away so she could finally go like that.
I quite like the disillusioned, Luminae just be like, yeah, we'll deal with that.
That sounds about right.
I'm gonna go sleep.
Yeah, that's exactly what she
Yeah.
did.
I like that. So you're heading towards where obviously Namna has indicated where all these the shelter is.
Yeah.
What about you,
Me?
Nico?
Meanwhile, I'm still looking at this Holocron, kind of scratching my head. Like,
Did you roll your lore?
There's
Yeah.
definitely as soon as you make contact with it, there is a sense of it's yours. It's not his.
It's mine!
No, but it's like specifically, it's not his. It's not hers. You passed the test. They didn't. That's what you feel when you hold it. So, and that's not even like you read that on a board telling you how you feel. That's how you feel
I just got
about
that
it.
sensation of
Because you hold it and you go, oh, and you now realise that you passed the test. So of course it's your reward. So that's what you get.
This is one of the tests that it gives you one reward. Let's use a lightsaber and split it in three. A slice for you, a slice for me, a slice for you, and another for me.
So, I don't know, I'll just be kind of trying to remember what I'd done with these back in the day. It's like, it's been like 20 years.
Sure. You generally from just having done meditation before, you know that you can sit, you can meditate on these. You kind of have to find the wavelength of the intentions. It's a way of getting students in the mindset to learn. So the only way they can literally learn is by being ready to learn. It's a very clever Jedi technique I made up. And but I like the idea that you need to get on the wavelength of whatever the intent of the lesson would be. So obviously, if you're going to learn lightsaber fighting, they wouldn't want you to be angry. So you can't be angry when trying to access the knowledge. So I quite like that as a vibe.
Unless it's a dark Jedi.
So for this, you know that you're going to have to sit with it, and you're going to have to meditate on it. And you also, this can take weeks to get on its wavelength. Doesn't say it will. That's what you remember from being Padawan. Also, maybe you were a bit terrible at them. Maybe this is why, you just struggled because you were so stubborn in knowing that you were the right wavelength. You're like, no, but I am in the right. I'm ready to learn. Now is the time to learn.
Come on, man.
And then obviously, maybe that's why you were always held back a bit, because people could see the fact that you struggled to accept you needed to be in a certain mindset to open these holocrons and stuff, which I think kind of plays in quite well with your.
Stop trying to teach me and teach me.
You're just jealous of my path. No, I just feel it's better to be like the kind of almost.
I like the idea that your character has a hatred for holograms. They're holding me back!
No, but I like the idea that, as someone that is so self-assured of their own discipline, though, that would probably inspire them to be slightly stubborn, because you're maybe it's why you've also refocused being so disciplined in your later years as well, being like, no, I need to be above all that, feeling like I know better. I just need to know better, instead of thinking I do and telling people I do.
And I think the whole trying to teach me but not teaching me would make you almost doubt himself more.
I'm trying to teach me.
So now you're like, oh, I don't know everything. I guess I better learn.
Yeah,
I guess I better learn.
makes sense.
Oh no, you better don't.
So,
But this is the first time a holocron's reacted so well.
My
So it's
holocron.
like maybe you've come of age.
maybe it took its time. Took its time.
It
It's a
did, like,
shame
there
it's
was the
mine.
purge in between
Yes,
us, you know.
yes. I suppose that I'll kind of just realise that I should probably sit down for this for a while.
Yeah. You get the vibe that maybe it's better to do it alone
Right. Okay. So,
Or
because obviously it's your reward.
yeah.
If you gave them the knowledge, how will they ever learn anything if they didn't earn it? If only you had got your fear visions.
I would have lightsaber battled you.
No, but I'm just saying if only you'd have got them.
Yeah, if only.
Okay, do you guys want to have any kind of group conversations at like a campfire, roast some marshmallows,
Unless
roast
the
some
group-
EJ?
Conversation for me is.
Well, like, you could easily have like napped for a bit and stuff and woke up later whenever he's eating and stuff like that. So it really depends what you want to do. Like, you just let me know. Like, what would you want to talk about? What would you want to like discuss? How you go forward? You know, are you telling EJ to fuck off? Like, are you going to talk? Are you talking to Safer about anything? Like, talk to me.
I'm sleeping. I've been like, it's been rough. I don't know where I'm gonna go now. I got beaten up. I need to work out money. It's a morning problem.
Probably catch each other up on the details of what we did while we were apart.
Except Hannah sleeps, so not me.
Okay, well, you can decide to catch the rest up without him, or you can wait for him to wake up. It's really up to you what you want to do with that. But I would love to hear you explain the job to them personally, because I think it's fun. But
Over breakfast, I'll make bread.
yeah, literally, if you want to just skip so everything have like a night's rest, like that's fine. We'll just do that. You just wake up the next day. EJ slept on the ship because there wasn't really space. You probably slept on the ship, to be honest, because you know there were 3 kind of TPs made, and it might have taken Nan longer than an hour or so to put one together. So, but when you just wake up, Nan is there essentially like preparing breakfast to be a possibility for you guys to wake up.
I will assist now.
Cool. Safer Zone isn't there. EJ's on his ship, his droid's on his ship. Yeah, so you just can wake up and do what you want.
I asked now that we're safer enough to. He's not come back into the temple, has he?
He patrols, so he needs to make sure the locals don't venture too near the cannon.
Okay. And I just continue making pemmican.
Cool.
I'm already well aware that the locals are danger.
Yeah.
Kind of stumble out of the TP just looking like she had the worst hangover in the world.
He's probably had bad dreams. Like, I'd assume you
Oh yeah,
probably.
because we're still in.
Yeah,
to it,
like,
so-
Super sensey sense.
like it's probably not nice here. Again, there's that almost oppressively atmospheric feeling. Like it's probably not even comfortable for serendipity. Like you probably wouldn't get the heavy atmospheric kind of emotional pressure from the environment, but you probably get like weirded out or creeped out by it. That kind of you're on edge all the time. That kind of, you know, you're someone behind you, but there's not level of on edge. Like it's kind of like that. So it's just you're never what you'd call comfortable here. But then again, you were just in a spaceship alone with EJ for a night. So I mean, who's really comfortable?
Could I pour a glass of whatever coloured milk we just so happen to have?
There's not, but there's like a what looks like a kind of weird, kind of like I don't know, like auburny coloured coconut thing that is split in half, and that you drink that.
Okay, I take a half a coconut and I hand it to Penn, and I just look at her and I saying, I felt the darkness that you must be feeling all the time. Like just looking at her and go, so here? Like, you know, as if like I don't know how to help, but I have this half a coconut.
Have some coconut.
Yeah. You look like, because I'd say I'd feel a wee bit better. Like I'm like, oh, I've got a wee bit of it.
You're probably more physically in pain than anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't feel too bad. I'm just a bit sore, but I've been through that. So so I'm just like, don't look good. Maybe this. And then I just go back to making breakfast.
You should just take it and just look so grateful. Not actually find words, but just look so grateful. Like something that might actually help.
And it's just a moment of,
Yeah.
and then go back. Da 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 da. Not chopping because I don't have knives and stuff. Using his lightsaber. Oh, toast. Making some toast stuff, made it. Triangular slices.
If that happens. So, Nana has a toaster if you want toast though. Doesn't have bread.
Space avocados.
1/4 portion.
It is mostly just various types of fruit that you get.
I like fruit.
It's a very tropically planet. But needless to say, if MD had been late to bed, you just saw that Namnet goes off at night to go collect fresh fruit from very far away. Because turns out fruit near the temple, you don't want to eat that.
Dark fruit.
Only dark fruit.
In a dark place.
Yeah.
In a dark room.
I mean, by all means, I'm not saying don't eat it.
You want to see what happens?
Let's take the dark
I
fruit
was about to say, can I take some of this dark fruit with me?
and feed it to our enemies.
Hey, Jay!
I like your thinking.
20 conflict.
And I just, they hand me this dark fruit, and I'm just like, oh, da 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 da, making up lovely meals with this dark evil fruit. There you
That's
go.
the easy for saving us. Come with me a ship to my rescue.
You
Good
have
guy.
fruit simpler.
Right, so Serendipity, I'm assuming you'll wake up enjoying the breakfast shenanigans.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would wake
How
up.
did you sleep?
I slept like a baby.
Yeah?
I was loving it.
Or did you slepitate?
I slepitated.
Don't let him RP your character.
But do let me combine words. I do like portmanteaus.
Cost you 1 XP every time you do it.
Totally worth it.
Per word.
Yeah, I slept like a baby. I'd probably just wake up, pick up the Holocron again, still looking at the key. What's this thing?
Again, like as soon as you pick it up, it just kind of feels right. Yeah, like you just feel like you achieved it. Like you feel like it was worth it. The fact that you went through quite a horrible experience of losing essentially your Padawan,
Yeah.
and then realizing no, the fact that you saved him was the right thing to do. You actually got him out. He would have died had you not. You would have died had you not saved him. So you know you did the right thing, and you also know that's your reward for it.
He starts to call it his precious.
So,
Just saying.
Different job.
Yeah, I had a bit in my head that everyone should start arguing because they're close to the temple, and I'm like, wait, no, that's the wrong dark form. Thinking of the ring there.
It's also the scepter in the Avengers.
That's it.
So
I would kind of just walk out the tent, start scratching my head, obviously. Go sit down. There's Serendipity here.
it's Serendipity, yeah.
Where's your-
kind of just
Woke up, sit down.
give her a pat on the back, which is about the most affectionate thing you'll ever get from me.
Serendipity tackles you.
Oh, no.
Just instinctively grabs the arm and twists it.
Yeah, I would kind of just like sit there and ask her how the mission went, I suppose.
Where's the holocron?
I'm still kind of just scratching my head while I ask.
I come and bring their coconuts. And I put down the coconuts and I go to take my holocron back.
How do you react?
Do you know feel anything when you're holding this? I would ask.
I felt a box. You've had all night with it. Give me it back.
I don't know,
You
man.
didn't even know what it was. You didn't even pay attention to it.
I don't know, man. It really kind of feels right.
Like when I said earlier, remember, you know he doesn't deserve it.
I mean, I'm getting a sneak suspicion that I don't know. I mean, just feel like it's calling to me, saying something to me.
I want to be really worried because obviously, well, you wouldn't have seen. My first reaction was, uh-oh, because it called me a dark disciple. So I didn't tell her what the thing said to me right away because I was like, oh no, because I accessed the dark side. I was like, oh, I did a bad. I was all ashamed, and then it called her a dark disciple. And I was like, oh, thank God. Sorry, everybody who said that to me, I just was a bit scared. So this is not a good thing. Like, it's my thing. But
you're his superior.
Nah, I don't. It's not really
Jim, like,
that kind of relationship.
as far as my character saw, he doesn't deserve it. Like, you didn't do anything. Both of us, because I'm like.
Our penis?
Yeah. Well, what was the last thing you said actually? You were like, am I?
So he reached out for the holocron.
Yeah.
Who's kind of right?
I'm assuming you maybe retract a little.
And I'm
Still studying it, man. Still
I'm
studying
like,
it.
well, let me have a look at it. You've had it all night.
Kind of think to myself. Just keep my kind of growl in the whole Darth Maul kind of growl looking face.
You sure?
Take strain
Hmm.
as soon as you go to give it to him.
Okay.
Just the one.
Just
Add it to his tracker.
I'd
everybody
still
else-
be 3.
Everything else that had a night's rest, by the way, is
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that wipes out. doesn't
Yep.
it? Yay.
I'm glad I'm surprised I remembered that. So you team. But yeah, this actually pains you to hand over.
It pains me, so obviously I would kind of grimace as I gave it. Like, obviously,
Like by that I mean it's more like emotional pain
oh, okay.
to the point where it's not physical pain, but you just
I don't know if I want this all.
it's not something
kind of
you
like
want.
crack. it's like I've got a little box of crack in my hand right now.
When he hands it back to me, I just kind of like throw it up a bit and catch it, just like.
I mean it's relatively heavy, but it doesn't matter. Like it's
And where it's like, it's sort of a, because I don't feel anything with it, but I'm curious. I'm just kind of like, you know, there's a weight because this is the first time I've properly held it when I've not been semi-conscious, and I'm just like,
Right. Well, just for my own imagining, what kind of density are you thinking? Like lead, iron, wood?
what do you mean like the weight of it?
Like how? Like I know what the size of it is.
Like
But for
2
the weight,
bags of
would
sugar
it-
for 2
would it
kilograms?
be lead?
2 kilograms or something? Or do you mean like the actual like how it looks?
like
No,
how
like-
hard does it feel?
No, like density as in I know what size it is, so what weight is that? Because I know.
Like about 2 bags of sugar.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
But you've not held it.
But I was trying to get it. Like, kind of juggling it. How easy would that be?
I walk towards.
But I mean, brawn 2, right? For you? So it's not that difficult to do that.
Like 2 gallons would be nothing.
Yeah.
I want to imagine that's probably the first time Annie has been very vocal, or you know, he's so reserved. There, even just the moment of
It's the first time he's ever gotten access to anything
Yeah.
remotely Jedi. I mean, I wouldn't say the person who was itching to be trained as a Jedi for like however many years. I wouldn't say it's out of character.
it's
Because I mean, how often have you stripped over relics?
it's that combined with you don't feel anything. When and my character was like, well, I'm like no,
Yeah.
no, I don't feel anything, and I seem to be the other than my moment of super speed, air quotes. I'm the only one who doesn't seem to keep getting a feel of dark scariness. So even though he's like, no, this is mine. Like I don't know, I feel this, and I gave in to that moment of darkness. I don't understand it too much, but I would say my character is slightly worried just from all the little.
Oh yeah,
all the
I'd
little
say
things.
there's plenty of reason to be worried. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a bit worried. about you?
You say while juggling the options.
Yeah.
That's the dark cat.
That's more of the only way I know how to. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with this. So I look at Penn, but I don't. I'm like, no. She has dark evil ways, feelings as well. So I hold on to it myself.
How do you feel about that?
I really can't wait to see where this goes, because it's mine now.
It's fine.
I'll give you it for a ship.
What have I got a ship?
Then I guess it's mine.
Brat.
So and then I go back to my cookie business.
Okay, so you were tossing up and down. You replied with what to him?
I reply and just like, I'm going to keep a hold of this until we know more.
That doesn't sit with you.
Nah.
No, it really doesn't.
No, I've got to check this out, man.
Like, you know that you need to learn whatever this is trying to teach you.
Yeah, like this is trying to tell me something. You're not holding me back from this.
And
But
this
like, I don't know how much you want to tell him about that.
Well,
What I mean by that is, you know he doesn't deserve whatever it's trying to teach. So would you even want to tell him that it's trying to teach you anything? Because then it might make him more interested in it.
yeah, cause
Like, this is quite a selfish urge you're getting.
Which doesn't happen often. I'm actually getting worried now. Even I'm getting worried. I think I've got like the fucking the one ring right here. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't be too happy about it. I'd say like, I kind of need to check this out. Need to give me this. Kind of like I was
why?
rattling for some.
Yeah, I'm just like,
fix.
why?
Have you ever actually seen An Daar maybe this, I don't know, worried or worked
Yeah.
up maybe? Because I mean, keep in mind how disciplined you normally would be.
This is where my character, I just go, what did she say to you?
I never saw anything. Just thought that kind of a blah.
Like you never, like literally no visions, nothing.
I mean, I didn't get any visions from anything. No visions. What are you talking about, actually? Who?
Well, me and Penn were both told that this was ours to take.
How loud are you saying this? Enough so that Penn can chime in, or
It depends how far away she is.
well, aren't you all at the nape-shaped table?
Then yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
It just depends how, like, who wants to interact with this conversation, because I feel it's more interesting if all of you,
I'm like, well, this was ours.
because you're basically watching them fight over a box.
Your box.
My box.
I didn't see anything. I seen something else. But I'm not quite ready to talk about that.
You saw something else?
Before we all got, did we all see each other get to the chamber?
You all saw each other at the chamber, and that's when you decided to sit down and start meditating. And then
Before we went to the chamber, which was what made me realise that we were basically in an illusion. We were being tested. And I feel that I passed that test. I feel that I passed that test.
I look at him and go, I know I did. I go and
it's
sit,
like a flashback to you being smacked across the room.
like I go and I sit next to Penn and I kind of put it between us and go, I know we did, and sit thingy like very like smugly at his sort of attitude of what I know I've passed, but I don't feel a sort of high mightiness. I'm like I was told I passed. You weren't.
But I feel that I passed. I feel it. It's hard to explain.
Mine isn't.
It's kind of like feeling darkness.
It told me. It told me I passed.
Is it glowing when it comes near you?
Maybe it's because it's already told me.
You hear from the morrow on the ramp. You should not listen to small boxes, my friend. No good ever comes from listening to small boxes. A small box once told me I was rich.
And I just looked at him and go, you have a ship, how richer could you be?
I now have a hat. Richer still!
Yes! It's my box.
He's only wearing the hat in his boxers.
And I was like, oh, I feel like there's a box and boxers joke in there. It's just a wee bit too, it's just out of reach.
Maybe a pair of jokes in there, but
I just look at, I look at Penn, like sort of,
yeah, like I
back
actually
me
am really
up,
curious as to know. This is probably the first time you've seen them, well, not fight, but be on the different side of an argument, if you know what I mean. So like, yeah, because he's basically going, oh, we're on team A, he's on team B.
because I would look at Penn not in just a, what you went through, what I went through, but more of as in, I've never argued with them. I don't really know what's going to happen. What do we do now? Like what? I don't see my character being as sort of argumentative type, so he doesn't get in arguments a lot. Especially not.
Plus, he generally makes all the deals anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I'm just like,
He's not the one who goes off and argues for you two.
so. Yeah, Penn, help.
Feel free, remember Serendipity, you're here as well, so like, chime in at any point, they're arguing over a box.
Tell them it's my box.
And they're talking about this weird fucking thing that happened in a weird fucking temple in this weird fucking place.
Yeah.
Maybe with less profanity. We'll bleep that out when I can burst edit.
And I just take Mrs. Jones's coconut and I'm
Miss.
force move it over to me and just cut it. I hate that.
They're all halved.
So of course. I don't.
Yeah, roll force.
Not yet.
Can you do that? You can roll
I do
force.
kind of, but I'm in the middle of an argument. I'll do it later. I'll do it.
We're currently pissing at each other.
Well, just my character had never seen a holocron before, would she? She wouldn't know what it was.
Would you have wanted to have seen a holocron before? And can you tell me or justify how?
I don't think she would have. I'm just.
In that case, yeah, then don't.
Well,
Like,
it's just because I don't know that much. I was making sure they weren't like commonplace. And
no, they're very much not.
Yeah, yeah. No, she wouldn't have seen one, so she wouldn't have a clue.
Like, the Empire went out of their way to try and get rid of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Down museums.
What are you gonna say?
Yeah.
Then?
To your character.
Make sure you can speak so we all hear.
What is going on with this box?
And just kind of look at you a bit weird and go, it's a very long story. I don't even know what it is.
I know what it is, but I don't understand what it is.
I'm sure you're busy arguing. So I probably wouldn't interrupt.
Yeah, this probably happens as they're.
This was,
Yeah.
sorry, that was me more directed to you. As I would think that my character would know what a holocron is.
No, I would say like he definitely knows what they are.
Yeah.
He's interacted with them. You've probably seen them being used by other people
Mhm.
that have tried to impart knowledge to the younglings.
Yeah,
but
I
you've
thought
never-
there'd be like a class of everyone focus
Yeah.
on this holocron.
like everyone. This is an old master who recorded this message for you. You know, from thousands of years ago. Like, yeah.
1,000 points to Space Gryffindor.
So yeah, like what's going on with Serendipity and Luminae? So they're arguing over bugs.
I was like, I don't even know what it is.
Where did it come from?
In the temple. We
Okay.
Like
I don't
literally
know
in this
why you
area.
think of this.
like in this area, just so you know as well, Gib, like you're in like a massive kind of like it's like a kind of a jungle, and the jungle got slowly more dead, closer to this big kind of lowered in kind of crater canyon thing, and in the center there's like a 5-sided big black pyramid, and that's on its own. There's like a hollow underneath it, like in a semicircle of hole, like another chasm essentially, and then there's the one single bridge coming to connect, and then your camp's at the other side of that bridge. So that's where you guys
can
are.
see this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is huge.
You literally landed next to it.
It's also like a pretty bad storm that EJ flew through. Regardless,
Okay.
Or
Left the temple.
69er flew through.
Striking towards the pyramid.
Yeah, and Northern Gold.
P3R2.
It's full of nightmares.
So don't go in.
Like you you maybe had bad dreams, but you maybe wrote that off to just shit experiences, like when you slept overnight here. But you definitely would have had bad dreams, just so you know.
So there's no gift shop?
There's that. Point at the holocron.
No more.
No.
I do.
Yeah, if you actually notice for the first time there's a square-shaped hole under one of your legs, it would just seem to slide. Other things didn't happen. Okay, so how's this scene playing out, guys? How do we finish breakfast?
And we keep it in the box, Annie.
I'm taking the box.
Right, who's harping here? I'm hearing everyone speak it, so...
I'm just finishing a thought so that I can remember it when this is finished. Because I'll forget.
Okay.
So that is.
There you go.
Okay, just to check the
Do you know how to use the box? The box, the holocron. The box. Do you know how to use it?
Do you?
Yeah, you do. How do you use this ball?
This is Abrak.
Watch it.
Man,
Do that.
that back.
But yeah, that's what does even how to use it. Like, yeah, do you know how to use the box? And then that's, did they actually apply to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I've got, yeah. Watch it.
So did you say yeah, you didn't know how to use the box?
No, I don't.
No, he
He
did.
doesn't. Well, no, sorry.
It sounded to me there was like you asked him, you didn't know how to use the box, and then yeah was the answer.
I went, do you?
Oh, okay, I never heard that.
And he went, yeah.
And I said yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually know if I do have how to use the box.
You think to?
I turned to
It's your box though, so it doesn't matter if you know
Name
it
it.
or not. You'll learn. Namnet.
Namnet
Yeah.
and ask if you can contact safer.
No.
Maybe. Do you know what he is?
Oh yeah, like
Patrolling.
you said earlier, he's just patrolling the temple. Remember, this is huge, so he's essentially away for a jungle walk. Yeah.
Keep it waiting a while.
Yeah.
I say we take it up with safer when it gets split. You maybe know that. I want that folks. What?
Exactly. I hand it to Penn exactly, and I say,
Thomas is this child.
I ask, sorry,
It's Thomas.
It's Thomas. Later.
what do you feel? I want it back.
She wouldn't sense anything from it, would she? 'Cause
No sense?
it's-
Use the phone. Use the phone, Penn.
It's up to you. You care about what you do with the box when he hands it to you.
I think I just chuck
It's relatively heavy. You just
I
throw it,
genuinely love it.
Throw it in a hole.
throw it into the chasm as you see An Daar.
Because she so feels like it. She just kind of take it and stare at it. Be like, is this really worth all of that? I suppose actually she'd say that out loud. It'd be like, is this worth it? I don't even know what it is.
It's
It's definitely worth it, according to you, Nico.
No,
Like,
I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it's entirely worth it.
Like, you pretty much want it back. That's the vibe you're getting. Also, it's glowing very bright orange for you.
Very good colours.
Just looks normal to you two.
so. Do we see the orange?
No.
Oh, they don't see it.
They saw it originally,
Oh, right, don't see it.
but they don't see it now.
Nothing ever came. Nothing good ever came from a holocron calling on someone. Especially one of the Dark Jedi's and fashionistas. Oh, you never saw the picture of the woman?
Oh, did you not?
He never-
You just can stick
Yeah, I thought you'd want to.
That's the way,
Yeah.
keep RPing.
Um,
Got time for all the distractions, damn it.
so yeah, she's just kind of staring at it. Like, what bit is this?
What do you feel, Penn?
Uh,
Because I know you feel.
Well, if it's not glowing.
My eyes are telling you, help me.
No, I think his eyes are going, I want the box.
May
Can
I?
I try try and sense Annie's emotions.
Sure. Yeah.
Just because.
It's a good idea.
I like it. Yeah.
I love it.
Does that have any like from you like? Is that like visually noticeable? Like, is this something that you give the impression of that you're doing?
I think not like looking like she was like doing that right.
Mm-hmm.
Not over it. Not
But
over.
like, I just feel like, do
over,
you
but-
channel yourself? Do you like breathe differently?
I
Do you
think-
put your hand out, or like just?
No, she'd just be holding it and then kind of, well, depending on, because you seem to want it back, just kind of look at you and try and gauge from that. So looking a bit more intently, but not.
Sure, do you want to force on that?
Yeah.
Would you, Nico, want to oppose this role, or do you think you just don't have enough to oppose it in terms of what she's given? Because I don't want to open the door of allowing people to use force powers on each other
Yeah.
when you can't oppose role, but at the same time, I don't know if this was something that you would oppose.
I probably would be to concentrate.
Given that she barely knows she uses that power,
Mhm.
and there's very little indication it's being used, but it's not to say that you wouldn't have that feeling because you are trained as a Jedi-ish.
Yeah.
So it's really up to you if you want to oppose it, but I want you to. I would rather use RP this conversation.
Yeah, if you were paying attention to her, you'd notice she was looking more intently at you. Whether you were staring at the holocron or.
I'd probably be staring at the Holocron.
Yeah.
I would allow you to do it anyway.
But like, I want to just make sure that we're not opening the door for PvP force powers without opposed rules
No,
just
that's-
being in place, because it's quite a risky door
Yeah.
to open.
No, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
the rules doesn't make sense.
But like,
It's
I'm totally on board with the fact that
Open
it's
the
something that
door.
would be obvious.
Mhm.
So I feel this is something you could get away with doing, but I don't want to just leave that open.
Yeah, that's fine. Go away and do
But
it.
I'm totally on board with you being too obsessed about wanting it back because it's as I say, it's very bright. Even though
Get the
like-
big set.
it's still a kind of overcast
Isn't it?
day here anyway, but it's a very bright glow from this. You know, like the kind of like emergency service orange light things that you get, but without it spinning around, it's just on.
It's glowing my favourite colour, man. It's glowing my favourite
You're
colour.
about to be sense with a force rating of 2.
What?
Let's see what I get.
She's got a force rating.
Roll 3 dark.
Pretty dark.
That is pretty dark.
So you are trying to get into his head. It's quite a dark thing.
Yeah. I don't think she's like worked up enough to. Like she is
It's
too.
your call. You let me know what you're doing. That's your resources.
Yeah. Nah, I think she's too passively doing it because she's not got
Yeah.
enough to be nervous yet. She's just noticing how intent he appears to be, so
Mhm.
she's just trying to pay attention to him rather than
Yeah.
being afraid or being angry. So tapping into that.
No, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Maybe you start trying to think about it and then you change your mind because you're like, maybe it's personal.
Like I kind of like the idea that maybe like the dark side points when you choose to spend them more, you actively accepting the force power,
Yeah.
like you did in the temple.
Yeah.
Whereas normally you'll wait until the white power is there, so it almost feels like it's less weight or effort on your part, and that's what you've been doing so far, and that's how I've interpreted it so far.
Yeah.
And I feel that's like because your powers are so, they happen when you need them to happen.
I think he.
That's the light side normally. It would just happen,
Yeah.
mechanically speaking.
And because you're less tapping into emotion, it's less conscious. Whereas
Yeah.
with
No.
to actively use the dark side, you kind of
You'd
actively
actually
use it.
want to get
Yeah.
in his head, yeah. And I think that's a really good interpretation. So yeah, I'm totally on board with that. What about everybody else then? Like we've basically just got Penn staring at a box now and then staring at him.
You sit in a box.
And you're staring at a box.
Put my hand in the box and go, may I?
I would be like sure, but like just,
Oh, yeah,
just
what-
not even say sure, just kind of.
What would his feeling? Because obviously, like, we got the feeling that we don't deserve it. Does he get the feeling that Serendipity just doesn't deserve it,
What
or
would you feel?
Like,
Like, does Serendipity deserve it? Does she not? I mean, you know they don't.
well,
But you tell me how you feel about Serendipity.
I don't think I would really mind. I mean, I said
you,
that
you
because
just know
I
you
don't
want it back?
I
Then?
just know that I want it back. Yeah.
And you know what? It's not with them anymore. That's good.
I mean,
Just
she's not a Jedi, so
I don't want to be around Annie anymore. I don't want to be. You're going down a path I just can't follow.
Oh.
Do you still think he passed?
I don't think he passed. think I passed.
Okay.
No, I know I passed. It told me I passed.
And you? Naomi?
Don't know what's going on.
I passed. She said I passed.
So,
Past a dark
I'd like
thing.
to
Strength.
just be kind of examining this. All four sides, all six sides
Mhm.
the same.
Past
yeah,
the
they're
dark
like
Jedi.
intricate.
And a very
It's
dark
really
Jedi
ornate,
queen.
like
Yeah.
really ornate. So it's
That's
like
how you pass.
a really
Resistant.
black, like metal to the
Yeah.
point where it's hard to
Yeah,
make
more
out
light.
detail on that metal because it's so
Yeah,
dark.
that's-
Yeah.
But
doesn't
lots
make
of
sense.
silver highlights
It doesn't
and
make
any
sense everything you've
engravings
done
have
is
silver in
so
them as well. So it's both embossed and
Use
the
the
other
dark
one.
side.
You know the
Yeah.
dark side
Kind of
power.
run
Yeah.
Stop
run our
and
thumb
do that
through
again.
the
The
grooves.
fighting, I didn't.
Yeah, like
Oh,
and
to
kind
fight
of
him?
turn it
cold.
about and
I didn't
shit.
attack
like
him.
it is cold to hold
I went to her
Um,
side
and it's heavy.
to protect her, and then
just-
he
but,
intercepted me.
Like it's maybe,
Force away.
as I said, about 2 or 3 bags of sugar heavy,
and
like
then
ish.
once he intercepted
Um,
me,
But beyond that, it's just like, as I said, like
to protect me.
it looks like there's glass or crystal like on each face, but it's so dark that there's just a slight change in texture.
Can I roll lower?
Sure, yeah.
That's the most
Like
relevant.
to what end?
To see what I know about these boxes.
Roll mechanics to see if you can figure out how to mechanically work it.
First on
Sure, yeah, you can roll that. Can someone give me their phone?
I think unless other covers Jedi,
No, lower is probably the most.
I'm rolling the same file.
Yeah, lower is the most accurate. Are you trained in this?
No.
Nope.
So it's just my intelligence is 2, my intellect is 2. So it's 2 green. Unless
I'll let you roll it.
I had education, I think lower is more relevant, but I do have training in education.
Sweet, mama, mama, jumma.
That can still work out in his favour.
Touch him. Give him the phone.
4 successes. 2 threat.
Is that all?
And that's it.
Just
Nice.
as well.
Oh my lord!
Threat.
That's pretty
Don't
good.
know how the fuck.
I know, I believe you. Like, I find this is one of the games where you don't really want to cheat what the
No,
dice
no,
say,
it was
'cause
more
it's way
just
more
to
interesting.
marvel at it rather
But
than.
yeah, as I said, one thing I love about this system is that despite I could give you 100 dice and they could all roll blanks.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
I know it's good that there are blanks.
Again, this is why I said that I honestly feel it's a system that people that don't like failing and just getting nothing for it, I feel this is the perfect system because you turn failure into if you can make it progress still. But
I
yeah,
was expecting 6 failures, so I have no idea where to go on that.
like so you're holding it and you're thinking obviously like maybe like you tell me what would go through your head. How would you try and think if you know this? Like what would you think about as serendipity when you're holding this to justify being able to have remembered about it?
I would think that maybe I've seen one being used, but not know anything more than that. Like I don't know what it's called, I don't know where it came from.
You definitely
Well, I
you've
know-
never heard the term like holocron
Yeah,
before.
I
You've
know
definitely like you've maybe seen intricate boxes before or like intricate like artifacts
I've
that
seen
people.
something similar. I think.
You've never seen something like it. Like you've seen things that are like, oh, it was a fancy chest box or it was a locket of some kind or somebody wore this cool amulet once. You've never seen anything like this. But as you're thinking, going, where's this from? You just find yourself handing it to An Daar.
See, I had an idea for that.
Can I?
Cool. Like you can still have an idea.
I can hold it out and go, who wants this?
No, you definitely are holding it to An Daar.
Can I
instinctively?
use the force to try and move it back to me?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I do not want it back to An Daar. I don't like what I'm seeing it come out of them. Because even the
We've
tiniest.
also just watched, just as we're
Hmm.
aware of the narrative that happened there. You handed it to Penn, and then Penn looked at it, and then looked at An Daar, and then Serendipity went, "May I?" And then Serendipity has looked at it and just handed it to An Daar.
Yeah.
So that's what you've just seen.
It's meant to be, Steve. It's meant to be.
I've only got the basic power of move, but that's fine. And it's close enough actually. I've got increased range, but that should be fine.
These are at like a table.
Is there a difficulty?
No, it's not difficult. No.
Right.
It's just your roll,
Spread out.
your force. Are you putting 1 or 2 into it?
Both.
Cool.
Oh, too dark.
We're rolling well.
I'll flip a destiny
Okay.
and I'll use both dark because.
Well, how much does it cost to activate the power?
Oh yeah, I'll double check that actually.
Just one.
It is just one. Isn't it? Yeah. Oh, so I'll just do one. I'll use one.
Cool.
Just, I'm not sure the
Take 2
destiny thing
conflict, obviously.
to be.
Because as far as like, I'm not thinking about. I'm not. Oh, sorry.
No, you keep going, and then I want them to go because I just want every day to be recorded of what they want to see,
Yeah.
so we can all make sure everybody's on the same page. So yeah, go for it.
Just to explain why I used the dark power. My characters went sending it straight back to An Daar. There's no moment of stop, think. He just went no, and I've reached for it to bring it to myself. Like I would imagine this is the first time I've ever used move, so it's very like looks bit in the cave where I'm just like no, and I just reach for it instinctively. I don't reach to grab it. I just mentally go, no, it can't be there, and I want it to be.
Cool. I need both of you, so it's both An Daar and Ren, to take a strange. The box is glowing incredibly brightly in Serendipity's hand as it's held out to you. Specifically when he reaches out his hand, that's when it glows incredibly brightly. That only you can see that.
Right.
The rest of them can't. You've reached out and you have pushed into emotion, like I don't know what, selfishness, anger, what one, like whatever,
Fear.
like fear. You've went into that, and you feel like almost like normally when you're using the force and it's natural for you, it's there to almost like support you, like it was always there, like a step.
Yeah, that's how I've
But-
always used it.
But like this is almost like having to like grab onto like a rope to pull something. So there's a proper effort required, but you do it, and the box doesn't move. Not at all. Like you go to, and you feel everything happen the way like whatever lessons you have learned and whatever practice you've maybe done before, because obviously I'm assuming this is something you've practiced before, maybe in narrative terms. But yeah, you push into that, as I said, the fear as you described it, and you can't, like you almost feel it's not further away, but you know it's out of reach, and that's something you know as you've reached for it, and your force power having no effect on it. As I said, this thing is like you can basically not see serendipity for it, the glow.
Can I see the?
No,
Right.
only
Right.
only
Okay.
An
Yeah.
Daar can see
Just
this.
because you were looking at me there, I was
No,
confused.
I was kind of
Right.
Would you almost say blinding?
not quite to the level of blinding, but to the point where it's all consuming of her, because it's just in the way of trying to see serendipity. And obviously, how do you react to it not moving?
Fear, like strong. I'm more afraid. Because I need to not let this get to Annie. The fact that it didn't come to me when I feel it should have, sort of cements that there's something going on. So I don't know what.
You know what he tried to do as well, An Daar. You know that. He tried to take your box, and you know he did it through fear. Fear of you having the box.
I mean,
That's literally what it was, though. As you can expect.
Yeah.
Serendipity, you saw him go and look however he looked.
like a crazy person.
No, again, your instinct is still to give it to her.
No, but I could say that and not move my hand.
But you wouldn't even be open to the idea of him wanting the box. Like, your instincts are for this box to get to An Daar.
You're practically getting force out of the floor straight now. Leave.
Like, there is a way that you could word something like that, but it wouldn't be you being open to him. What you feel is that this box should be with An Daar. What An Daar feels is this box was just somebody tried to take his box away from him, and it's his box.
That's my
And
box, man.
not only that, but his friend is afraid that he shouldn't get the box. And Ren is afraid that An Daar is going to get the box because it's Ren's box. So
At this point, like, although my character does feel like he's passed, I'm not wanting it because I feel it's mine. I'm like, yeah, I feel I've passed whatever it was. I don't care so much that it thinks I've passed. I'm now being overcome by his obsession. I see myself as the one who wants to. I know he wants to be a Jedi.
keep in mind though that nothing obvious has changed since then. It's just you have not been able to do it, and it's Serendipity that's offered it to him, not him. His demeanour hasn't changed. So I don't know if your worry would increase about him unless it's specific to previous worry.
It's.
Do you see what I mean by that? Like,
because
obviously I'm describing stuff that you wouldn't know.
It's his little cues that I pick up from An Daar, because his demeanour hasn't changed so much, but his words and how he speaks.
Well, has the way you spoke changed? Because you're basically RPing for him. I want him to tell me the way he speaks changes. I want him to tell me how his demeanour changes. That's up to him.
Normally, mostly, for the most part.
Because yous need to tell each other how much you're giving away, but what I tell you, that's up to you guys. And I understand that obviously I tell you what you hear, and it's difficult to not meta that because you want a certain result to happen. But yous need to talk about that with what yous would share.
If we're talking normally, I'll probably be getting slightly more irritated as it gets more against the idea of them. Obviously, there's parts.
But like, how do you react to the fact that his hands reached out and then this thing's just started to glow intensely? Like, what is An Daar's reaction to that? Because Serendipity's went to offer it to you. It's been passed around. Nobody's taken a layer off it yet.
I would think you would be maybe seeing it as he's trying to steal it from you in that moment.
I am.
Like, literally, that's what's happening.
I'm literally.
How would you react to someone stealing something from you? Like, I take your phone and just walk out.
I would bash them.
But like, that's what I mean. Like,
Count the character.
and this is something that's yours. Remember that.
Yeah, in my head anyway.
He's going to take it and not get it back.
And he has specifically said it's his.
And I've told you, I think I passed. I don't think I don't think you have. I know I have. No one has came to tell you you have. I know I did.
Stop force choking Serendipity.
I switch my move and I'm like, don't give it to him.
It's mine.
I find your lack of giving it to me disturbing.
Anyway.
At this point, our dads are probably getting more like irritated at the fact that Ren doesn't.
Is your hand on your
trust me
lightsaber?
with it. What?
Is your hand on your lightsaber?
My hand isn't on the lightsaber, but I'd be getting rather irritated that he would be pretty much doubting me at this moment in time. We've been bros now. We've been like father and son.
But like, arc me this out, yeah. Like, explain. Like, are you going to try and reason why it's yours?
I was like, I'm going to say like, in fact, I'm going to mention the fact that it's like, it's just glowing really, really brightly at this moment in time. Like, I'm going to mention that because, yeah.
That's just trusting me.
Thank you.
Was this it?
That's just a trust you.
Yeah.
You make it all.
We kept him alive this far. I mean,
I'll ask him like why he's so intent to not let me have it. I'm going to ask it. I'll ask it.
Then ask me.
Why don't you want me to have this box?
you
Because
call it a holocron, but yeah.
This of the holocron. So.
I feel you'd have a lot of reverence for it.
Yeah.
because you want it so badly. Like you seem to want it more than I've seen you want anything.
I've been wanting this chance, this
You want the Jedi
opportunity
your entire
for,
life.
for 20 years since I rescued you. What's so suspicious about me actually finally getting what I want?
That's a good point, maybe.
You always told me a Jedi doesn't want.
It's a good counterpoint.
A Jedi doesn't fear either.
I'm.
Good counterpoint.
I've never claimed to be a Jedi.
Neither did I. I've pretty much taught you not to bind yourself with all that throughout the years. And I've quite frankly let you do what you want.
Tell that to all the things you threw at me.
That's just to teach you a life lesson. You take from that what you like.
I feel that this moment I need to teach you.
I feel at this moment you need to trust me.
I don't. Not here. Not in this place. Not after everything I've felt and seen.
What would that be? What did you see of that?
I saw you sit and not try and help someone who was in need. I saw you sit and try and meditate away your problems.
I didn't see anything because it was meditating. I didn't see anything.
As far as you're concerned, it was just the three of you standing in the room.
So did he not see the...
No?
I saw none of this. I would just tell him I saw none of this.
Would him having the information you want to tell him about what he saw not be helpful at this time?
It wouldn't change this.
No.
No.
Okay.
Don't worry, I would have cut in with it if it would have.
The Holocron spoke to me. An Daar. I specifically don't say Annie.
And the Holocron is speaking to me right now. It's glowing. Literally glowing at this moment in time at me.
What is it saying?
It's just telling me that it's mine and you shouldn't have it. Rightfully.
Can I step in at this point?
Sure.
Just,
Shoot
not
both of them, yeah.
yeah, both now.
Trying to say that was pretty rugby, by the way.
Yeah, it was really good. I didn't want to interrupt, but
No, please. I'd like it to be interrupt.
no, not quite take it from Serendipity. Just kind of go and put my hand on it and go, what is this that you're fighting over?
I would explain that as a holocron. It's basically just a old. Is it Jedi specifically? Is it the Jedi
No.
made holocrons or just ancient?
Well, for you, you'd have been told about the Jedi used them for obviously storing knowledge.
It's basically an ancient data crystal. It holds knowledge from past times. I don't know what this holocron holds. I would like to. I would like to know. But they can contain much power from time to time.
Would my... obviously, I know that they're educational and knowledge. Am I also aware that they are more than that? That they do contain...
Can I roll lore?
Or I was thinking I might...
I mean, I kind of feel I should maybe make you roll stuff sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's,
Like, I
It's
know
fine.
that the thing is that these guys are really good at being an RP, so I just...
because I know I know normally if there's a thing you think, oh no, you would know that, you would say.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, if I ask.
But I'm happy for, like, I think it's more interesting if we find out how you know, through the dice.
Yeah.
It would only be 2 as well, 2 purple.
Poops.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it was obvious or not, but the
Oh my God.
lack of any form of reference is why your check was so difficult. That was it. And also the fact that you were
No.
away, locked away for a lot of your life, hence why it was so difficult.
Oops, that's the wrong greens.
Like, had you been like, oh, I was raised by the Jedi Archivist, maybe it would be a different dice pool. Maybe it would be no dice pool, we used to got information.
Wow.
Oh my god, Steve.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
No result. I got 2 doubles on and
Maybe
one
you're
of those.
just, like, more worried about An Daar.
No, it is. The box isn't my focus because that's.
Yeah, like, I feel like that's maybe why there's no result there, because I feel maybe not even paying Penn that much attention because you're too busy in that conversation.
Because it was going to be responding to Penn's what's so important about this.
So maybe he's more important currently.
Yeah.
So I like that because I don't see how else I'm non-result because you just don't know. But I prefer it to be you don't care enough to answer because that's a bit more interesting for the scene. So you can. Do you want to describe? So she asks the question, and then how do you respond to that? Even if that is just I don't respond and I continue to do it.
I just go. I don't care about the box. I just don't like what it's doing to us. I don't say, because obviously I've just used the dark, and I kind of know I did, but I'm too afraid to really care. So I'm like, I don't like what it's doing to us.
Fear's never done anywhere bad.
And I look at Penn because you're so unaffected, and I plead with you. Like you could just see it, and I'm just like, take it, please. Don't let him have it.
I just really the visuals in this are really awesome. How does Penn react to the fact that the person with the most mystical space wizard training is obsessed about a box and is arguing with his best friend? His best friend's scared of what his friend's become and is now begging you to take the box he doesn't care about away that the other one's obsessed with.
You're still holding it. Would you let me take it from you if I tried, or would you keep holding it?
Well,
Like I wouldn't. I'd not like wrench it from your hand or anything, but just try and pick it up.
Because Serendipity's going to
It's
start
not
in the
the-
middle of this.
You don't even know what's happening.
Oh.
Your robo legs are
Cameras
trying to go one
spinning
way.
around us, and we're standing there in complete silence for about 8 to 9 minutes.
I just remember this is the first time. I think this is the first time I've properly.
And then
asked
episode
somebody.
8 starts.
what's her last week? Wait, this was a flashback the whole time. So yeah, would Serendipity offer it to Penn at that point?
Well, from what you've been saying when I tried to kind of do other things with it, it's very much I wanted to go to An Daar, but I don't know how strong that feeling is.
Yeah.
Or is it I just palm off going, it's meant to go that way, but as soon as somebody else wants it, I'll be like, oh, okay.
Do you try and resist it? Like
I don't know how strong the feeling is. Is it at all conscious, or is it just like
It was more like
the box goes
as
that
soon
way?
as you went to think about the box, you just realised you were basically handing it to An Daar.
Yeah,
So it was almost like now like when you're kind of walking around and forget what you're doing,
yeah.
and then you realise that you're holding the spoon you were looking for in the drawer. It's like that weird, like you've not really registered the transaction, but
could you really get your hand on it? You say.
Yeah, I kind of touched it, but
I thought it just let go and
Yeah.
you take it.
so I'd take it and take a bit of a step back away from everyone. Be like, so we went through all of that and point at the temple and all of this for a book. Like, just
Potentially strong, powerful book.
I wanted that, like, when he turns around to say that, I also turn to Penn and look kind of like, yeah, like, and I'm like, it's a book. It's a book. Like, it's a book. Books are good. We have a book about something we didn't have a book on something before. I'm just like, it's a book and it's the only one we have. There's that moment of just like, hold on, you just books, I think this is the point where both of, like, definitely for me, I'm just like, No, you don't get to push it aside. I don't care about the box, but I care about what's in the box. Don't diss my box, Penn.
It's a really beautiful box of glowing orange. And
It's the only connection we have.
But I like that. I like the idea that you are both on the same page at that point, where you're like, yeah, of course it's a book, it's knowledge, like that, who knows what we can learn from it. Yeah, that's good. How shocked or normal or weirded out is Ben. Like, this has been really good, I think, for interactions so far.
So you said that it was.
potentially strong and
It's
powerful.
Well, no,
glowing.
did you say it was glowing, or was that?
Yeah, it's glowing like
Right.
mad.
Yeah. It's beautiful and glowing. Special.
And it's not glowing to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did say it was glowing. I did
Yeah.
say it was glowing to him
It's like-
when he was like arguing the point,
Uh-huh.
saying that it was talking to him and such.
Yeah. I just kind of look at you and go, "This isn't glowing."
What? Can assure you it's definitely glowing.
I think at that point I just take another step back.
Can I step between the two of them, like facing Annie, and I'm like, it's not glowing for us.
It's glowing for me. I can see it. It's glowing orange. Favourite colour. You know how much I love.
What does it matter? The box glows, the box doesn't glow.
I turn to EJ and just say, don't. Don't. Back in your ship, EJ.
AJ stops peeing. And then walks back up the ramp. And it's like, I am only trying to help my friends.
I just go, I nod, thank you, but there's nothing aggressive with me. I'm just very, don't. We're good friends. I don't need this. Go pee somewhere else. I don't need to see this. I don't need to see this. Cover
He
yourself.
heads back up the ramp.
Cool. Away he goes.
Goodbye.
Are you distracted at EJ for a small moment? Thanks to EJ.
My distrust.
It's calling to you as a question. It's calling to you.
Feels like it, yeah.
That doesn't worry you.
Not really.
It worries me.
I feel like I can handle it. I feel like I can handle it. I felt like I handled in that temporal route. I feel like I could handle this.
Like, you generally like just to remind you as well, like, you rolled amazingly in the temple.
Yeah.
Literally, like, it was like, what, 3 triumph symbols total, I think, through your entire journey through that or something. And, like, you generally got to the end and kind of just, you were at peace with yourself. So, that was your journey.
Yeah.
Whether, obviously, they don't know that.
Yeah, they don't have a clue.
Like, they literally seen you sit down and not help them.
They also didn't know that I seen him die and shit, which would have been a potentially
Yeah.
crazy thing to see. But
But I like that you've not said that yet.
yeah.
Wait, well, you didn't say exactly. You just said.
No, I didn't say at all. I said
No,
that
you said.
I saw something, but I'm not ready to talk about that yet.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, no, I'm just saying you said you saw something.
Yeah, I saw
That's
something,
what I
that's
meant.
what I
You
did
did
talk
say
about,
you saw stuff.
um,
Because I saw nothing other than the fight at the end.
yeah, I'm still not going to tell you about that. Not yet.
Because from what you've said to me, I am basically like, he saw shit and then didn't help, and now desperately wants this box that he's seeing things at. You're not getting this box, Annie.
Oh, my biggest guys.
I look at him and I calmly say,
Is that what An Daar would feel?
Nah, I'm going to break his neck. I'd be very irritated though. I'd be getting very irritated.
Angry?
Nah, I'm angry. Don't be angry. Too
Don't be-
disciplined when angry. Too disciplined. But yeah,
I want to see what Safer has to say.
that's what it takes. Very well.
Very well.
I say Penn holds on to it. For now. Young Hobbit.
My eye kind of twitches as you say that.
No.
Cannot help it.
Not to interrupt, but I could hold the non-glowing
Go
blocks for you.
away! You check.
I don't even acknowledge his attempt.
No?
Would you prefer I took it?
Okay.
Yeah, I would prefer Serendipity took it.
And I'm like, Miss Jhones, you do not get this. went to give him it?
I'm
Why?
going
And
to-
I stop and just go, why? What did you give her it?
He had it when I got here.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
That can still have been her answer.
Yeah.
We handled it. So.
We can keep going. We don't need to go
Yeah,
back and
that's
change.
Yeah, I felt like he had it when I got here, so let's go with that.
And so I'm just like, yeah, no. No. I no. No to you. No, stop that. No, Miss Jhones. looky, Dr. Jhones. I just like clasp Penn's hands over it, and I'm like, you need to hold this. I don't want it anymore. To be honest, like, I'm just like, I don't. I feel if it was a danger to me or you would know. I trust your feelings.
Doesn't trust the guy's feelings.
You have no feelings. You have no feelings.
I hope that got picked up in the
We went through a fight together. We were Vam bros, women and a gang, bros, broettes and bros. You're just being cocaine crazy, so you calm down there, train spotting, alright?
Holocron spotting.
Oh, I don't want to leave it out of my sight.
I don't know who's been more irrational right now, to be honest.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
What's
Well,
it?
I don't want it out of my sight because I don't trust you not to go for it.
I like as well, the person who was the most lost in the temple is the one most together inside it.
I ask you to hold it and hold on to it.
Just kind of hold it a bit closer to me and look kind of questioningly between the two of Annie and
I
Ren.
look at Penn and I'm saying, whatever happened to you in the temple shook you up, like, because you could see that. I was more physically shook up. More shook up. Oh. You know, you feel what this place can do, and you're here, and you're together. We aren't. I need you to be together. Yeah.
She's just like looking at you like this is the weirdest thing, and considering everything that happened at the temple, it's kind of like it's just boggling her mind. But she's just like, okay, holds it a bit closer again, and just kind of looks between all three of you, just not really sure what to do.
I do love our journey of, was this all worth it? Like, I do love that vibe that you said earlier as well, just the fact that you're like, you went through all that like uncomfort to get here, to learn something, to then watch them argue over what you've got.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
how
I like that.
this is so us as well. How we're on the same page but telling different stories. If you get what I mean.
Think
Same
about it.
story, different words.
Because Penn's less educated, education itself is going to mean less to her, so it's just baffling.
It's my lack of education that makes it mean so much to my character, and his need for it as well.
I think Penn doesn't know she's missing anything just because she wasn't brought up with this void.
I know, no one even got to see me show off my first move. They just saw me go, hey!
Clearly kiss somebody.
So serendipity.
Yeah.
How fed up with this shit are you?
I'm thinking. I'm better interjecting. I was there. This isn't getting us anywhere. You wanted to talk to
So
Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he?
Patrolling. You see him rolling. You hit. You try to catch him riding down.
Should we go find him?
No. This planet is dangerous. Trust me. Chucky chucky.
This is what they're telling me. How much do you believe in? They're arguing over a metal box.
Yeah, we're getting nowhere here. We either get him and we leave, or we leave without him.
He'll come back.
When?
It doesn't matter. We have food. We have a place to settle. We have a ship to leave when we need to.
Well, I want to leave. I want to stay on the planet for the rest of my life, arguing over a box.
And we won't.
That's a box.
She's got a point.
It's a book.
Big box, whatever.
I,
Inanimate object.
you don't understand!
That's why I'm asking to find out information from a third party who may understand.
We don't know
Fed up
this
with
planet.
Stupid argument.
Serendipity. He does.
Let's go find him then. So what's gonna happen?
Supposed to get that.
We got lost in a
Famous
desert.
last words.
You now want us to get lost in a jungle.
I'm not tracking.
For survival.
Oh, what am I working with? Oh, you crazy people, you crazy cocaine addicts.
You're working
No,
with
it's
Murray,
still-
looking
sorry.
forward.
No, it's still working.
Namnet is still like pottering about and stuff and like cooking whatever he needs to cook and like cleaning up and making sure like your TVs and stuff are fine and occasionally fussing with the pilot droid and stuff like that as well.
I call Namnet over.
Cool. Yeah, it kind of like hops over you.
Have you ever seen anyone else enter the temple other than us and Safer?
And he looks up and goes, I believe I would have, being here for so long. But unfortunately, my memory has been wiped so many times. I honestly couldn't say.
Suspicious.
You three are the first to leave the temple.
Like,
Besides, Master Zoe, of course.
Good
just
save.
kidding.
I was like, wait, only three? I was like, here you go.
And he was dead the entire time. Fight Club imagination, man.
I was actually just dragged a corpse the entire story.
We're all just forced delusional.
So, anyway,
I would ask Namnet, it's like, do you know when Zoe will be back?
normally patrols take a few days.
Right, I'm gonna go. Yeah. I've heard enough of this.
Cool. So,
I'm gonna start walking out which way you were. But I'm guessing it's all leave camp.
right, so,
He was already gone.
No. he was gone before you woke up. Maybe you go to get your stuff ready, so go grab it from the morrow, I guess.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What is your, before she leaves the table area, what is your take on the fact that she's basically like, I'm going to go get him? Remember, you just walked through this place with Safer to get here, and it wasn't an easy trip. But that's obviously, I'm just reminding you that was happening. I don't mean that is something you need to tell her. Just
Miss Jhones, it's too dangerous. We've been through this jungle with a guide, and it was dangerous.
I mean, An Daar,
I'm not asking you to come
stay
with me.
left, it might leave you with the box.
I'm not getting left with no box.
That thought does run through your head.
I don't like crazy cocaine, Andrew. Don't leave us with crazy cocaine, Andrew. Looky, don't Jhones, he go crazy.
I'm done with this. I'm going to find the person who will hopefully resolve this. And I'm guessing we're not leaving the planet without him.
No, this is where he belongs.
Well, let's leave him here then.
I will. That's nothing to do with sorting this out. I'm going. If he wants to stay, he stays.
Well, I'm off.
Don't go.
Please.
Please don't.
So they sit around
I
and
just
stand
walk
talking
away.
to him or walk away, yeah. You two aren't Stephen or Dave. Are you doing anything in this, or are you letting them have their moment and then letting her walk off? Now you're walking towards the ship. So, what are you guys? You're holding a box that everybody's fighting over,
Yeah.
and you want a box that everyone's fighting over. But Serendipity wants to go find Safer Zoe, and Ren doesn't. So,
He'll be back.
what's An Daar and Luminae Penn thinking or doing?
Well, I want to get this issue resolved as soon as possible as well, quite frankly, because I'm on handbooks. I really want handbooks.
You gotta meditate and stuff, yeah. You gotta find synchronicity with your box.
Yeah, but wait. I mean, when I get started straight away.
Yeah.
But also, I agree with Brennan. We should be kind of like.
I mean, it's
Fumbling
not
around
like,
jungle.
you know, a terrible idea to go into the scary jungle of death, yeah. But, you know, what were you, Luminae?
Been trying to think about exactly what she'd do. I think she'd let the conversation run out without interrupting and then get up to follow Serendipity. Not entirely hating the idea of finding Zoe because they
Mhm,
need
yeah.
answers, but then feeling so awful because of the lack, like the nightmares all night and the stress of the temple and stuff that she's like, and go somewhere quiet to sit down by herself so she's not part of the argument anymore, but
Sure.
not having to stand up and physically exert herself.
Do you have the box with you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep, carrying the box though.
Okay. Serendipity, as you're heading up the ramp, you see EJ flurrying around the ship quite frantically, kind of swearing in many languages that you don't necessarily understand. But you can tell from maybe the occasional word that you do understand in the various languages that he's swearing, I said, profusely with P3, as P3 is like flicking switches and charging things up and frantic and apologising profusely, and he turns and he's like, Miss Jhones, can we're leaving. It has been wonderful, but we have to go.
We need a way off this planet.
Excellent, away off the planet I am. Come on board, we shall fly away. We shall leave
We are
and
finished.
never come back. I am. And then he holds up a transponder.
How
He's
much?
like, this is not mine. This is Niska's. I don't want this. I got a bad feeling about this.
Did he lose his accent there?
I take it off and then stamp on it.
I was like, I already deactivated it. It's okay.
Yeah, my technique works.
I do like the shiny feet. You get the others. I will get the ship ready to launch. We shall leave now. The panic is still obviously in his voice, obviously, and P3 is still like running around everywhere, making sure the ship is about to take off.
I say, okay, I'll get the others and let him go. Can I roll mechanics to break the ship?
Sure, but
In a
you'd
subtle way.
need to get to the engine room.
Yeah.
This is like the on ramp.
Yeah, I wanna stop the ship from being able to take off.
Right. I don't know if you're going to do that subtly. Do I even have... I don't think I've got any way out of a fire speed here to show you. But,
You're just so Zoe from Firefly.
right, so, you know what Boba Fett's ship looks like, right?
Yeah.
Right, so, that's
Half
the...
an egg.
Right, so, this is that's the cockpit, and then that's the part that goes down to the outside, and that's guns there, right? So, it's kind of like that from looking at it, right? That's like the horrible wings that I can't draw. Right? And then if you look at a side-on view, which is kind of like that with that goes round and the wings come out there and that's the cockpit there. And that part goes in and that's the on-ramp up. So you go in that way and the engines are like underneath the entire ship. So you'd literally need to go in behind the cockpit, open all the access panels up, go in and start wrecking stuff. And that is not subtle.
And then I was thinking away I could stop and leave it.
No, like, he didn't look like he was just going to abandon you. He was happy if you guys all want to jump back on board and go. Like, you
Yeah.
never got the vibe of he's going to ditch you. He just wants to leave now. That's the vibe because literally he's like, we've been here a day.
Yeah.
They're here. You know, that's how long it's taken.
Yeah.
Who was one of his favourite people?
Hi.
Alright.
So,
Well, the other one, the one that we got off the prison ship with, he's still out there. We need to go and get him. Once we've got him, we will all happily leave.
isn't this his plan?
No, he's coming with us. He said to wait on him.
Okay. I'll get the ship. So he's happy to get the ship ready to go. I assume you go and grab them. Cool. How does that conversation go?
Hello.
Hello. All hail the Land Baron.
I'll kill the Van Baron.
It is I. EJ is leaving. If we want to go with him, instead of being stuck here,
How are you describing this? Because I want to know how Serendipity is reacting because think of what you did
yeah.
to Niska's property. Yeah.
You stole it.
And remember when you said you'll pay for him? What was Niska's reply? There is no price that would buy him. And then what P3 told you. So please tell me how Serendipity shares this. And given that it took you about a day to get here, and
And
you
we've
slept,
been here for about a day.
Okay, EJ needs to leave. We should probably go with him if we're going.
since it's the only other ship on the planet.
I don't know if you guys had a way off this place, but I don't.
Surely we could get him to stay another day or two.
He's pressed for time.
When is he not pressed for time?
Doesn't matter. He's leaving. Are we going with him? Or are we getting Zoe?
Holocron must be solved.
Can we use the ship to find Zoe?
Can we?
Can you?
Well, you were on the ship. I'm asking. I don't know what type of sensors it's got. I don't,
How much does she know about ships? Probably not much, and she's not got any ship-based knowledge other than mechanics.
I turn and go, fine.
You know more about piloting. Can we move this ship in a way that finding one person in the middle of the jungle would be easy?
There is like thermal imagers installed or something, because that's how they find the
Well,
ship area.
there's light scanners on the ships.
Well, Stephen, do your thing.
I have an idea.
If I take this box and just keep it,
But it's not a good idea.
I like bad ideas. All about the bad ideas.
His ship does have weapons, but I noted. If we fire the weapons, it is a starship. They're usually quite loud. It could draw people to us. One of them might be safer.
We only want to draw one person.
Not the bugmen. Kakaka.
We have two options. We draw them to us, or we spend God knows how long looking, and I just go, in a planet for someone.
he's in the vicinity.
I
Because
can
you're
track
left the small one. It's like, how far can a man go in a
I look at him and
I
go,
can track him. I've got a thing.
It's Jhones.
But you can track him on foot.
you know how fast someone could go.
That's true. That is true. But we could still use our life scanner. Surely we can find them. Surely we can track
What is a jungle filled with?
life, but surely you can like pinpoint life. It's like super futuristic times. Like fucking
Long time ago in the galaxy. Long time ago.
well, super past times then. Right? It's super past times with
There's
funky stuff.
5 of us. I say we go.
Cyanide votes to leave with EJ. The Cyanide heard the conversation with EJ. I'll vote for Emma.
I actually forgot about her. There's 6 of us. Yeah. Because EJ gets the vote. He said he'd wait, so we just need to see how long he's willing to wait.
He said he'd wait on you guys getting on board.
Oh, so he doesn't know Green Man's away.
Doesn't really care. Like, the conversation was, you go get people on board, we leave. That's what he had the conversation with Serendipity about. That mostly involved everyone getting on board and leaving in EJ's head.
I'll be back. And I run to EJ. I go, EJ,
Ah, my friend.
do you have a flare?
My friend. Cabinet to the left.
I thought so. And I just get the cabin and I
It's
go.
full of hats. He's like, no, to the right. My
I-
left, your right.
I go, it's sunny? A hat? Take a hat. And tip it. Then I grab a flare and then I run back outside and I don't even wait. I just fire the flare into the air.
These are flares.
Oh!
If you want a flare gun,
I open it up and go, gun! Flare gun!
it's like underneath that cabinet.
And I had to close it and hold my hat as I go underneath. Grab the flare gun, I run back outside. And I fire the flare gun in the air.
Cool. And it heads up into the big kind of stormy clouds, yeah?
Yep.
And like, explodes into light, I
Yes.
guess. Sure, yeah. So it's a weird, I don't know, red, since most flares seem to be red light. Yeah, cool. That happens.
And then I suggest we pack.
Start packing.
Like, what did he bring?
Not much.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there's
everything.
more things here than we brought.
There is, yeah.
I suggest we pack some fruit. None of this dark fruit. Maybe some of this dark fruit.
Some
but
of the
not
dark
all.
Okay, so he's packed up some supplies then.
Supplies.
Cool. EJ has sat and he's spouted lots of maths about, space travel and time limits and things to you guys, and explains that he's like, we're leaving, like now.
We're leaving.
Like we've already
When safer gets you.
we've already been here too long.
None about his zapping. To be
You,
honest.
my friend, you can wait here. My ship, me.
Just
But
while
we're
he's
close
talking, I'm going to take my lightsaber and just go. Bzz.
Cool. Yeah, you need to get close to him because you're not on his ship.
Oh, okay. Well, is he not near me?
Well, he's at the door of his ship. He's still trying to get everything
This
ready.
escalated.
Yous are all at the campsite.
Okay.
So yeah, but right, well, I would say right, we're going. As I'm walking up the ramp past them, I would just kind of take my lightsaber and give him a little zap, knock him out.
You're sure it's going to knock him out?
What better?
You anger the pilot. That's always he's already
He's not the
angered
pilot.
one pilot.
He's not the pilot. The droid's a pilot.
But it's his ship then.
That's fine. We've got HK droid now.
This is escalated
Just
so
losing
quickly.
Just didn't.
Oh, to fill you in while you went away, I ran to EJ's ship,
Stephen,
got a hat.
do you care about ET or do you care about getting a ship?
EJ could get me a ship at a cheap. I got a hat.
You hat?
No, I gave my hat to him. I opened up a locker of many hats and took the fanciest, simplest, good-looking one.
They're all identical.
I take one. And then I got a flare, ran outside the ship and fired the flare into the sky.
Cool.
and didn't consult with any of you.
I love how I'm looking here and I realise that all his stats are here.
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to actually.
this is getting pretty intense.
You wanted to walk up the ramp and
Escalate
tackle?
quickly.
Attack. Not attack, just to
We're going to relution that other dude, aren't we?
So, is that going ahead, Nico?
Yeah.
Cool, so I walk up and attack him. Cool. Right.
That's not in character though.
That has to be conflict.
Oh yeah,
That's
bear with me.
conflict. It's conflict. But I'm conflicted right now. And we're not leaving with it safer.
Can you give me your dice set?
So I'm not leaving with it safer.
Can I have a dice set?
Oh, sorry. There we go.
Thank you.
What?
Right, so, what are you adding to this pool?
I'm adding to this pool lightsaber checks with 2 yellow, 2 green. No, 2 yellow, 2 green.
2 yellow, 2 green.
Yeah, because you can use your willpower, can't you?
Yep.
Right, so, there's that. And that. And then that. Cool. Ready to roll?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm spending a destiny point.
Make it hard.
No. To downgrade one of your dice.
Oh.
Cool. Ready to roll?
Remember you can...
Yeah, I'm going to cancel that.
Sure.
Indeed.
Yep. Good, good.
Don't make my check harder, please.
There is a PlayStation symbol in the way.
Yeah, just pull it down. It's a messenger.
Cool. 2 fails, 2 advantages.
2 fails, 2 advantages.
Yep. Cool. That's interesting. So,
You may want to hold on to the phone.
so describe. So you walk up the ramp, and EJ is like, obviously he's like, quick, hurry up, get everyone on board, and then you pull your lightsaber out, you ignite it.
I subtly just ignite it as I'm walking past them. Yeah, that type of one. Just kind of just.
And describe like
Oriented.
how'd you go at them.
I just try to kind of knock him out like a stun baton behind as I'm walking past them. That's it. Nothing. Nothing too.
As soon as like you go and swing and ignite it through this mid-swing, I assume, you just see that as you swing in, he obviously like has ducked under the swing itself. As you hit off the like the kind of like I don't know, the plating inside the on ramp basically. As he's done that, and he spins round and he's got both of his pistols up, like right up under your chin, like, my friend, when did things change?
Changed instantly.
And you hear like the hum of them charging.
Can I quick draw?
You're not on the on ramp.
But I have a gun. I'm still close enough to see them doing this, yeah?
Well, the way I imagine this is that
Wait, did you
that
say?
ship is side on, like, and then the camp is like,
Mm-hmm.
because you can't just land right at the side of the
Yeah.
temple. So he's landed far enough away that it won't just fall down the cliff. And you have been packing shit up.
Oh,
And you
right,
wanted
okay.
to go off to confront him,
Oh.
and none of you stopped it. So, but I mean, you can be at really whatever range you want to be, but his back would be to you.
I'll let him go on with this.
Well, obviously that's my lightsaber at this point in time. I'm guessing kind of holding it at him as well.
Your lightsaber is kind of like over there. He's in your frame, if you will, like with the guns, like obviously under your chin. So your arm's kind of like that way with a lightsaber. Obviously still in his hand, and I'm assuming you're right-handed.
Yeah. I'm dexterous.
No.
I'm dexterous.
There's not an offhand penalty in this. So.
Yeah, I'm just going to seriously say to him that we're not leaving with him.
I would be on the ship. You wouldn't be leaving without me.
He would be on that prison ship if it wasn't for us.
We would all be somewhere if it wasn't for someone.
You've done nothing really to help us.
I could still do nothing further. P3, activate ship self-destruct. Like, right away, sir. And then you just hear like P3 like switch from being again that kind of slightly quirky droid to the HK, like self-destruct sequence counting down.
Well, I'm
And
just
then
gonna
just,
let it
EJ,
play
then
out.
just, EJ then just puts his guns to the side and goes, "Well, I've played whatever Space Chicken's called," and just
I
it just stands there.
Well, I'm just putting away my lightsaber, just doing exactly what I want. Stay.
He's not, because there's now a countdown.
It's not a countdown. I'll just stand on the ramp with him and play that game of chicken. Come. I know that he's a killed.
You're now on 5 conflict.
Okay.
Additional for that.
Okay. I'm playing the game.
Uh,
Should I write it down?
use your the warning from the ship. The ship self-destruct is activated. And you obviously heard the hum of a lightsaber hit off a wall. And then some interesting voices.
Yeah.
You may or may not have heard what was said, but that's up to you guys.
I rush over. And at this point, see them both not having weapons out, and just go,
Well, EJ's still holding it, they're just like...
alright. Okay, I draw. But I don't know where to point it. Like, I just kind of hold it. I'm not aiming at anyone, because any other time, I would just point at EJ. After everything that's happened, I don't know what to do. Because I heard a lightsaber.
You also can see the score mark.
Why are you so untrusting of me, Mary? I've done nothing suspicious ever, other than like what you.
I just heard a lightsaber and ran up to EJ standing there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's another lethal weapon.
Also, like, from your perspective, he went on board and then the self-destruct activated. And he doesn't have his cube.
There are many things for me not to trust you. You don't seem to see this. This is what I don't trust. You're blinded.
Right, as you're standing there, like, not really sure who to point to then, he's just like, "My friend, your friend comes on my ship. You're only way off this horrible planet, and he attacks me? Not acceptable. We must leave now. Or we die trying.
I would much.
I do not want to die trying. I hate trying."
And I hate dying. Annie, what's going on?
We're not leaving without safe. He wants to leave right now.
I'm assuming you guys may be head towards that he's got his weapon out at the base of this armor.
So you attack him?
Just try and knock him out. Keep him here for a little while. You can understand it.
So yes?
Yeah.
You're going down a path.
How many times have I attacked people before?
I am confused.
We're forgetting I'm coercive, Stephen. I'm
Yeah, but
a
you
coercive
You're
person.
intimidating,
Yeah.
yes. But you don't attack people.
Yeah. I've never been a bit.
Okay, what about you guys? How is this playing out for you?
EJ, these three have been through a lot here. They've changed somewhat. I don't know what's happened. Finding safer will help. I know we're on time limit.
Miss Jhones, we have spent too long here, and you, me, the shiny one who's not shiny anymore, and then obviously Cyanide kind of looks kind of like, oh, I didn't think you noticed me, as it stands in the background of the ship like, is this too awkward to leave? Like, we have been here far too long. Niska will kill us 100 times over. I'd rather die in my ship than it has hands. I'm leaving, and you can try and stop me.
EJ turn off the self-destruct.
Again, I don't think he would react to that. Like, he's probably too busy kind of like staring at him mostly. Like, he probably was talking to Serendipity while still staring exactly at him. And the droid is still counting down.
EJ, we will leave. Turn off.
Everybody on board, if you're coming with me now. You are welcome to stay on the planet. I will not be here when Niska turns up, which could literally be now.
God damn Niska.
Oh, the conflict is where's I keep forgetting the droid's name?
Namnet.
Namnet. Where's Namnet?
Back at the campsite bit.
So wait, is that within like shouting distance?
Sure. Good for you.
Because
We can't.
We have a destination where we could get
Can't.
that's what I was thinking. If we say we will be on like Talus or somewhere,
Oh, do you have a destination?
We just
I was thinking like Penn could just not make up a planet, but
Yeah.
pick a planet and
Sure, like if you've got somewhere you would want EG to take you can ask.
So I like the description of Talus.
I.
Okay, I've never really done it, but yeah.
Okay, this is more for you.
I think it's in KOTOR.
Don't think we can.
We'll talk about it, like, we'll discuss it and then
We can't
but,
turn the self-destruct.
I want to see how this wraps up first as a
don't like kill.
but obviously like you can say the
We can't
destination of
even
the planet and we
knock
can
them
decide
out.
what it was if you want.
Okay,
So we can
yeah,
make sure.
do that.
We
Yeah.
need him
So I'll just
Oh.
shout it.
to turn the
And
self-destruct.
1 second, so
There's a
this is all
chance
resolved,
we could turn
guys.
But I don't trust their timing and their ability.
So
Luminae would just turn and yell at Namnet. We have to leave. We'll be on in planet if we decide on.
so she's basically saying, you know, we will be at this planet, but we want to leave that open so we can actually
Mhm.
properly select a planet, which may or may not be Talus.
Fairly sure that's why I've got the name wrong, but I think it's Talus.
That's cool. Namnet obviously was okay. Kind of looking again, maybe like this seems to be an organic problem.
And I'd look back at the others and see if they agree with that plan or if they want to.
I look at EG and say, what are you bringing down on Safer? If we leave, what could happen to him?
don't particularly think I want like Niska to like run into a dark temple as well that's been protected for centuries.
If he went in, he'd just go, oh no, he was a smart one.
Yeah, he was a smart lad. He was a smart lad. He might actually know
Well,
what he's looking at.
Okay, he's the as far as I'm concerned, he'd go in and just be like, oh, this is not happy. Now leave. Oh, double bar.
Well, actually.
Niska is interested in you. Niska is not interested in dark temples and strange boxes and green people. He then stops and kind of like looks at looks straight to you and goes, green men. Because his audience chamber was full of 12 green Twi'leks. That I love that you did nothing about. All those
Well,
slaves.
who knew they were slaves? They could have been paid a fair wage.
Yeah, they could have been. We'll find out one day.
Let's be honest, if
Well, actually,
anyone's
we'll find out in T minus. So,
His hand has been forced. Let's go. We can come back without a time limit.
we have what we came for. At least
angst.
as much of it as we're gonna get.
No, but I came up. Come on, that box.
Again with the box.
We have the box, Annie. Get on the ship.
I'm on the ship, Stephen.
No, you're on the ramp of the ship.
Which is on the ship.
But not in Gushin. EG says.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty much outvoted anyway, so we might as well go.
Well, you can stay for
Nah, I'm staying.
He's not staying because he's not got the box.
No, I'm always going to say.
So I kind of look back and I'm a bit conflicted and then go on the ship.
Cool. So you head past EG and go to the ship then.
I ask for 5 minutes. I just tell EG, I'll be right back.
Sure.
I run back to Namnet
Namnet, yeah.
and I just say, obviously you've already pulled them in, and I just say, tell Safer the box is calling to An Daar and we may need help.
I shall indeed.
And I just run back.
And he confirms like the planet you mentioned,
Mhm.
and he's like, I will send word to that planet.
I'll come back.
Really?
We just need to go. I'll be back.
I'll be right back. Okay.
That was the Yoda Dagobah thing.
And then Nan is like, with his two hands, a bit like Obi-Wan, like. But
Wait!
people, like, as you're running off, obviously, this is maybe like the sound of the engines maybe drown it out a bit as well. It's kind of, but normally people don't remember the planet when they leave. As you head up the ramp.
I'm never again in.
So,
And I close the ramp because I want to press the button.
do you maybe do one last look out?
Yeah, no, that's why I'm there. I'm like,
And do you see anything? Anything incredibly important to say at this exact moment?
no. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Alright, we'll screen wipe with the door closed. And we're done. Yeah. Right, we'll do XP first, I think. Or just want to do morality first?
Do morality's easier. Let's
Yeah,
get it
sure.
out of the way.
You might want to thingy your phone
Yep.
so you can get the D10s up. Right. Stephen, you definitely have 2 conflict, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to this, whatever happens, you have now 2 conflicts
Right.
as a finale. And your total is what I gave you. 5. So, feel free to roll.
So do I still roll and sort of?
Yeah, like you roll and you deal with it. So,
Tom.
what you get on the D10?
I got 8.
8. So you adjust the value.
Mm-hmm.
So your total was 4, right?
But
Or was it? It was 4.
was it 4? So
Because I've given you 2 now.
mm-hmm. Right. So
And
yeah,
you had
just double
one-
checking.
2 from before.
Yeah.
Right?
So
So you can move up 4.
4.
Yep. So whatever you've done, you've managed to resolve all the issues. So you can adjust your morality that way. Did you have any conflict at all?
No.
Pencil.
And oh yeah, because you never used.
Yeah, never
Yeah.
used the actual.
And you can roll as well now.
5. If you roll your first.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. Use the force seal.
What did you roll?
Oh.
10.
Oh, 10. All right.
So after randomly attacking, you get.
Yeah, like you now move up 5. You've managed to overcome that because your total was 5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you now move up 5.
So after randomly attacking EG, you're like, actually, I'm alright.
No, but like think about he's now on the ship with everyone after
That's
listening to
true.
reason.
Yeah.
So you could reasonably say that was it, but I'll let Nico obviously work out how he wants that to come across. But essentially, whatever's happened, he's overcame the dark conflict of it all to get to a much better place.
60
conflict for my Griffin.
Yes, actually, that's a very good point. Actually, I should get used to awarding it to non-force sensitives. You'd probably only have 1 for that though. Given that I don't necessarily think you'd have followed through on the threat. But, yeah, so I'd say 1, so you should be rolling a D10 as well.
Just shake it. Give it. Yeah, shake.
1.
You don't move. You do not move.
Do you roll it just cause everyone
So
else
what,
rolls?
I got 9.
It's not a terrible roll if you had a 1.
Yep.
Cool. So you're still on 50 morality for you. You're still there.
You what there?
60.
He's overcoming.
Did I say is it 60 not when you get 70? I knew it was
70.
something close.
I think it's 71.
Good timing, Thomas. Just when we finish, come and get the
So,
distracted.
XP.
That was a lot of your RP.
Yeah. From 10 onwards, I'm no longer going to award 5 for just being here.
Yeah.
It's now on you guys because this was a very good session. And now, like, pretty confident you guys can now get XP.
But we still get 5 just.
This session, you will get 5. But from now on, you all need to earn it. Which does mean you can get nothing now. But I feel that's...
Not gonna happen.
I doubt it, yeah. So, 5 to start with.
I think getting the information about the skinny J was Allan doing that.
Definitely.
25.
Plus I like how you did it in the end as well.
They're fine.
definitely.
Yeah, they're fighting amazing.
Definitely their fight.
Dog fight.
Just the interactions in general for that were really good. So yeah.
The fact that you could argue in like really quick-wittedly in character is really hard. So
But that's the type of thing you just want to get
Yeah.
experience for, definitely, because
Yeah.
that's so good. And it's getting into a comfort zone where you know what your character would do. It's why like I hope the emotional stuff helps you out with the kind of brackets almost to know where she'd lie.
Like, I felt like I was playing with that when I said I'm just going to go off and on.
And I think it is
Like-
easier for us because we generally know where each other's characters are coming from, so that's what helps us.
yeah,
Do you feel like having like that now does help with knowing where serendipity would be? Like obviously compared to like previous weeks, for
That's
example.
what made me say, like, if these guys are going to argue all day, I'm going off and on.
Yeah, it's perfect though because you're used to doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Does that XP?
well, you
That-
had XP for your RP skill. Do you want to give me more?
The RP with the...
Because remember, being your character doesn't get you XP. Being interesting, good, different, quirky,
I like-
inventive, ingenuitive. I need something that isn't just something I expect every session.
help. I need you to have it. I quite like. I kind of like the reversal of being like, I need you to look after us, and also even just a bit before that, where I was just like, don't let him have it. Cause I think it's the most, even when your character is like confused, it's the most confident your character's been, because your character's like, I don't understand anything, but still.
I would say it's worth XP purely for the fact that your character is now actually accepting a role in the universe itself. Because before you were like, I don't really want to be part of this, that's not really my thing, I'm not really doing any of this. But you're now like, I'm kind of part of this. And you also, like at the start as well, when you were saying how you felt compelled to go help him despite like you ran in without your lightsaber and stuff, and all of that came up, and it wasn't, that's not normal for you, but your character is changing and growing.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to give XP for that. So we're sitting at 20. Gib,
I can't really think.
can you see why I'm giving that XP though? Based on how she's played her character and how her character has grown through what they've went through, and the fact that she's willing to then, she's now again the one that's like, I don't want anything to do with your craziness, and then they're being crazy specifically, and she's like, now she's the one trusted by them. So it's not specifically for her, it's kind of the interaction entirely. But that's why you're getting it for like being creative with the droid and getting the information for it. But anybody else? Anything else? Or are we?
I think what has happened.
I know.
A lot's happened in quite a small session.
I know, but that's why I was like, I guess I'll make you roll dice occasionally to it, because it was very. I knew it was going to be a talking session.
Yeah, I enjoyed
I
that.
say that like not most of the sessions are talking sessions. I get that, but you needed to catch up with each other.
Still don't know what happened on your scavenge.
I know.
Because like I'm trying to remember, because I liked everything you did, like even before the fight, just
We
with the. No, this is.
You didn't.
Like, as a party discussed what happened with Alia.
You didn't. No.
I think we should.
We
Probably-
will find
I just
that.
appear with it, or no one says anything.
I was gonna say yeah. To be honest, I feel like
Replace it with
Penn
the
should have
droid.
said something, but I didn't
I think
step on that. Like I feel it's something you might be like, maybe when you're on the ship leaving.
yeah,
I don't know.
I'll ask on the ship. It's just because the character was so hungover a bit.
Like no, but I'm okay. Like
Yeah.
you have you're too like out of it. You've got other priorities, and it's not necessarily the first thing you think of is that person you occasionally bump into in space.
But I think when she's away from the temple, it'll
Ah.
be clear, and then she'll ask what happened with
Um,
Thalia.
I have already established that me and Thalia were just there was nothing. Like we just were like, all right. She was like, all right. When I was at, like, I don't even particularly remember much about Thalia. She was albino.
So are we settling at 20?
Is there
That's-
something else you
that's-
want to say?
I like the getting the information. That's what I'm going to work for. I'm just talking to myself, by the way.
No, that's fine.
Talk to
Yeah.
myself, try to work it out, try to
I think-
self-recap.
Unless. Yeah, because although I liked all your little. This is Matt. There wasn't any standard.
Yeah, but basically your
moment, I think
entire
that
back
came-
and forth was good.
Yeah, I think that came up cultivated.
But I think everyone was good this session in terms of RP because I feel like everyone's
Yeah.
stepping up again. Like everyone's getting better at RP, which is great because it means you're getting more comfortable with what your characters would do.
And like I said, I really like it when he's interrupt. Like,
It's just too good a fight to interrupt.
And
But I
some-
was like,
I have to admit there was a couple of things I was going to throw in. I was like, I'm not gonna because I want to let them talk
Yeah.
out.
mhm.
But there was a part where you were saying stuff to justify your actions, and you should totally have been like, "And fear leads where?" Like because everything you were saying was out of fear of what you were doing, and you should totally have came back with that. But that's I want you to go and say to him what you would say, not what I would like you to say. Which is why I'm like, I'm not gonna do it because I want to see where they go themselves.
Forcing the trying to use the dark side to pull the cube towards you.
I like that.
That was good. I know it's part of the whole One Direction.
Like that was not his input than anybody else. The interesting part of that, so we can't exactly get RP for
ah,
the
but it's
GMs.
interesting about it being the first time you used
Move.
move and stuff. And
But it didn't work.
Yeah, and it
'Cause
definitely
that's-
have impact as well. You know,
that-
going into the dark side and
Mm.
then using move and then it not working.
I mean,
and then
imagine if you'd actually used your sense power on the box
that,
before he used his move power on the box. I wonder what would have happened.
would something have actually happened?
Well,
Who's
nothing.
never gonna tell you?
Nothing happened when I did it.
Yeah, well, another thing is like, you
It-
wouldn't think to use it on
It's
a
your box now.
To be honest,
Sure.
something happened.
Mhm.
It negated.
True.
It didn't just. It's not like I didn't move it.
There was a distinct absence of something happening.
Yeah,
True.
where
True.
it should have.
Ah, just a
But you guys, you saw him being scared and like, no!
It was
It's
the
really-
counter
it's not a
Penn's
feel
that
one,
sets
it's
a
just
box.
force.
I
It
know.
was just a box to her.
Totally
So-
though.
Apart
Which
from
is
the
why you
revision
have
that
the
she's
box.
trying to forget.
Yep.
It's why you have the box, Frodo.
Yeah. It's just a box. I don't care.
Such a small thing.
Although I do, like,
Everyone, I think, should give a big hand to Anne Boromir. This session, I enjoyed that a lot.
Yep.
But you all did really well. I'm going to settle at 20.
yeah,
Mhm.
it seems so.
I feel you did well enough to get 20. I thought it was very good. You now realise that you'll probably be capping around 15 on average.
Mhm.
But not to say that's a bad thing. It's still a lot.
Yeah,
of
15 is generally what you need for like an extra speciality or like a level.
But-
So.
Given how much that's probably a good time to actually ask that. Pacing of the game.
Mhm.
What is everyone's feeling about that? Because obviously this is my first time running this, and I need to justify giving XP, which is why I've just made it your problem.
See,
much of mine. But
I think anything less than about 15 on average might be, because it's too little. Because 15 gives you enough of an option
Mhm.
that you can save it and get something bigger, or you can spend it.
Yeah.
Whereas anything more than that, we would be like well higher than what we are. Like the 20 is sort of the
I
limit.
don't feel like more would be the answer. And
Yeah,
I don't necessarily feel like less is the answer,
Yeah.
which is why I think I've somehow hit the perfect
I
Yeah.
think
awarding.
15 for your standard session generally is usually what we hit, and 20 when we get a really good
Mhm.
session. I think that's
And I think that's good, because it means that you guys can start, I'm going to do my best to stop prompting things.
mhm.
But I will try my best to keep reminding you of things that have happened that might affect what
Yeah.
you're doing, but I will try and not be as,
Mhm.
not even, that I will be as blunt, because it will be more efficient to be blunt, but I probably won't, it won't be as frequent.
Yeah.
But things like, obviously, this is a thing you would know, this is another thing you would know, Niska is a massive problem for Serendipity. When you weren't reacting to the transponder and the signal, it would have been more of a, oh,
I really liked your Lunglin. Because that's probably the first time where I think I've seen you not trying to further the group type of thing. Like you were just like, well, this is what I would do. I really liked that because it made it. It was so unexpected. That's why I didn't know what to do, which was good because my character wouldn't have known what to do. So I liked you were like, well, I think I do this, and then you did it, and I was like, oh, now I need to
Bye.
Now I need to. Now we're doing. Oh, everyone's leaving. It's,
Everybody's
everyone wants to go look for someone. Now everyone wants to leave, and I just want to stay here and wait. So I did like that. That's why I had to just be like, well, I'm just going to fire flares into the air and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think the fact that all 4 of us were quite good, it should be kind of 5 XP each.
Yeah.
It's about.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we should work on
their
that.
entire interaction was good. If it had just been one person's good interaction, it would have been 5 XP. So I'd say it would be 5 each.
You could say that, but both of them made the interaction happen. If it was one person, it wouldn't have been as good.
Okay, I really like. I did like that, and I liked your characters. I liked where everything's going
Yeah.
because I think it's the
You
first.
see how, like, what I want to explain that a wee bit further just
Mhm.
well. Their argument only works because it was good because they argued so well together. And then Naomi got XP because of her part was also new and developed and well. That was still part of the one interaction. But can you see how that's not 3 separate things? That was one piece and that was a separate piece because of different reasons. They're arguing because of their friendship and they're acting differently than they should be because of the Dark Temple. She has almost got confidence, you could say, or is so worried by everything. She goes, that's something I know. Being him. So,
yeah, pretty much.
because they've got themselves out of a lot of situations together now. 5 XP, 5 XP. I just wanted to explain that a bit more, how I see it, because obviously everybody sees things differently, but that's why it's 5 and 5. Just like how your intimidation is separate, again, as its own separate thing, but like the droid doesn't get 5 XP for that.
Like, say you were doing the intimidation and I just happened to be there, and then I came in and joined the intimidation, and we intimidated really well. It still won't be 5 because it's still
It's that moment.
rather than like the
Like,
things you
keep in
do.
mind, if it was incredibly like game-changing and revolutionary, I would personally award more. But I don't feel we're there yet. Not to say that these are bad, I just feel like you will all know when there's a moment that was amazing, and I think it will be the one moment that we probably remember the most when we finish this game. I just don't feel we're there yet.
I really liked the sessions, the thing between us two, like just where that could go, the changing your character and seeing your character properly. I think for the first time, like I really like that. It feels like you had
His
direction.
way of death at the temple was to try and see how you guys fit into a character as well, and to kind of give you guys an excuse to develop as well,
Yeah.
including the fact that you somehow managed to overcome every mental challenge thrown at you, Nico. But that's the point of your character.
Yeah,
Like your character geared to that,
that's pretty much my character in general.
and obviously you're still like desperate to find a place somewhere the same as you, which is probably why you're bonding so well, because you're finding a place together. He knows he has a place. You're looking for where that might be.
What I really liked about my character is ignoring the fear. Is it plays so well into being a starfighter pilot. Like I always imagine pilots don't overcome fear. They just go, oh well.
Yeah,
That's the thing I need to do.
Yeah.
that's my
I-
job.
Yeah, I like that.
The
it's
thing
made
is,
into
like, the
that.
thing is, though, like, what I find interesting is, well, first of all, last week, like, Cyanide deliberately called Serendipity Captain, because obviously she made the arrangement with you to be part of the crew. What crew? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but also, it's interesting because they kind of turned to you in this session because you were not part of the trial, and again, they don't really know, or they don't know Cyanide.
What's a droid? Who cares about a droid?
I mean, this planet actually had 2 droids on it. It was quite droid heavy. But I just didn't want her interacting, basically because I want her to RP her character. But it's interesting that,
Who's charging?
again, yeah, that's pretty much the reason. You guys are all, again, you're not necessarily seen as an authoritarian figure, but you're almost the one they're wanting to look to. So yeah.
You also have the most money to buy shit.
Well,
It was
What likes to
Taris
buy
the
first?
planet.
Taris.
Taris.
To speed this up ridiculously,
I thought it was
Stephen,
Taris.
but
Yeah.
that's a 2012. The last plus is only like 15-20 minutes.
No, the clock's 20 minutes fast.
Is that 20 minutes fast? Okay,
Very
then
fast,
we'll hold it then. We don't need to speed it up.
But we're long done. So